Well, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Sunday morning, and we are doing a continuation of last week's stream where we pulled a CPU off of a laptop motherboard, reballed it, and now we're going to try to transplant it into a new system. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, everyone's having a good, relaxing weekend. I was over on Andy's stream, Swindon. Watching that for a little while this morning. I don't know if that's still going on or if he's going to jump over here or not. I do see we have Black Horse here. I do have Black Horse just sent me some of his new flux, and I have a new applicator here, so I'm going to try that out today when we're doing the CPU transplant. I am the second greatest technician. And we got a $10 super chat from Daryl. Thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you, thank you. So everyone's still waking up. I got my coffee myself here, right here. Some Parts People coffee. Just made it at home, brought it in. It's 58 and sunny. This morning we were in the 40s. I don't like the cold, and so 40s to me is pretty cold. It's annoying. I think it's probably 55 now, but hello in Toronto, Stockholm, Slavia, Switzerland, Kentucky, Argentina. Got everywhere. Everybody here. Everybody's here. So everyone's excited. Here's the motherboard we used last week. And we took the CPU off. And this week, I actually experimented with taking the GPU off too. So here's the GPU right here. This is like a 10 something. I don't know, 1060 maybe GPU. I don't have a stencil for this, so it's not like I can reball that. I was just seeing how easy it was to come off. It was actually a lot harder because it was the physical size of it's different. And the difficulty we had when we were trying to reball this one had to do with the physical size plus the fact that the center of it had a metal plate or it was covering it. So like on these GPUs, you see how they're all pins right here? Oh, let me see if I can hold that right. They're all pins, and so it's actually would be easier to heat these balls evenly with a stencil than it would be with the CPU that has the metal in the middle. So we had to do 3 different times, 3 different suggestions, and we did get it working. And I was going to experiment with it a couple more times over the week, but I didn't get a chance. But I did experiment with using that jig, the magnet jig, and just reballing some of my regular chips, and it was so easy. I could just set it down and magnet the plate right on there, and I was able to reball some EC chips in just a matter of minutes, so it was great. It was a lot easier than me having to hold it down, so that worked out. I don't have the correct stencil for that still. It's just a universal stencil, but it's working good. So, hello from College Station in India and Copenhagen, New Zealand. We got everybody here. NanoFix has a video using those stencils and magnet holder. Yes, I did watch some of that. I didn't get a chance to finish the whole thing. A lot of those, what they're showing is they're showing smaller chips, though, is the kind of the hard thing to kind of grasp. So like this CPU, here, let me grab the stencil real quick. So like, here's the stencil we were using last week, and you see how the center of it has that big metal plate here? That's where I kept having the bowing going on. Now, if we were doing something like this is a lot bigger, this is like a 3060 or something, but you see how the holes are all equal everywhere, and you'd be less likely to get the warping going on. Now, I've reballed plenty of smaller chips, and that's what their APUs that they're showing are a lot smaller, so I think that you're it would be less likely to actually do the warping. But so we determined that we had to hold down the center here while we're heating this whole plate equally, and it worked out fine. So I'm experimenting with this chat on the side here. Let's see, this chat right here on the side. You see how it's a little different than normal? Here I'm going to switch to what it normally is. So that's what it normally looks like. And I'm experimenting with this one. This was a little less cluttered, and it shows people's icons. This one's actually a Twitch streamer who created this one, so I'm experimenting with seeing if people like that one better, if it's less cluttered. So you guys let me know, and I could try converting it or whatever. The good thing about this chat, it will show super chats in there. It will show any types of notifications that I always end up missing because it's not included on there. So Do we got, let's see, we got Dave and Brandon here. DIY Dave, I think he said he might be able to make it today. I don't know if I know he has church normally. Grady is here. You mentioned the heat was changing the magnetic properties. Yes. And as it holds down the plate. And so it basically makes it where it doesn't hold it down as well, but also the plate starts to warp at the same time. So I experimented, like I said, with reflowing, or let's see, here, let me pop this off. So here's the magnetic plate right here. And then what I did is I took my, there's supposed to be some sort of silicone mat you can put in here. I don't have the silicone mat. So what I did is I just took my old silicone mat here and I just set it on top like this. And then I was able to set a stencil right on top. So I could take one of these stencils and just put a chip right here, like that, right in the middle of there. And then I can just hold it down and it holds right on there tight. And so actually I was able to reball stuff that was small very easily using that method, which I thought was great. And I didn't have any issues with the magnets actually getting too hot or anything like that. So I think more of the issue was the heat from the center, having that warpage because of that center almost being blocked by the airflow there. Maybe getting hotter in the middle than on the edges because of the holes or something like that. What is the chat plugin called? So the new one that I have right here, this one's from Nutty. So nutty.gg is his website. He's a Twitch streamer. He's kind of funny. So he creates all sorts of different plugins. But you can take a look at it. It does have a whole like console window that you can configure, and then it outputs some code that just interfaces with StreamerBot. So you have StreamerBot running, and then it's basically pulling all the information from StreamerBot. So we're going to get started here soon. I just want to kind of do a little chat here. And see, this is the problem with the chat, is I always have a hard time like keeping up with it because it moves so fast. And that's why I was trying to get something that's a little cleaner for me to be able to read. Can we get the orange pad? I did order the orange pad, JFix, so I have all that ordered. I ordered more stencils. I ordered all sorts of different stuff, so that just takes a little while. So I did order the orange one, but I kind of like having that big one over the whole thing. But, oh, I did get, oh, man, they're in my office. I did get some heat-resistive gloves, but they're kind of big. I don't know. They're almost like grilling gloves. I didn't know if that's what they were or not. Have you ever fixed a computer that accidentally generated a column of smoke? I've had laptops that had the magic smoke, come out. And I don't know if accidentally meaning I've caused it or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I've definitely fixed those types of things before. The magic smoke. With a larger, it moves quicker. Yeah, that's probably right. Enable slow chat mode. Yeah, if I do slow chat mode, doesn't that make it where just people can't put as many chats in every 30 minutes or something, or 30 seconds or something like that, or whatever you set? I don't know if I want to restrict people yet, but we're working on it. Everyone, we're kind of experimenters to go, oh no, I put the two magnets on top of each other. That was not a good idea. Uh-oh. I was not paying attention. Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. Don't do that. Mental note. Because I have two different bases, because each one of these actually are different. This one has these little tabs here, and these have the reference tabs in the corner. And so I have to use this plate on this one. And so I was looking at buying some more stencils that go to these, but I have to kind of get the plates to go with them too. So it's kind of a little more complicated. CPU transplant, let's go. All right, we'll get started because we're gonna have time to chat while the board's heating up anyway. So let me move this stuff out of the way. We don't need it anymore. How's my burnt finger from last week? We'll give you a little close-up. Well, it's right there. Let's see if this is going to show you. It's now wrinkly. It did have like a big pile of something. Come on, come on. I can't do it. There we go. Hey, thank you, Charlie. Charlie in cold Boston. Yeah, but the finger's fine now. It was all swollen up. It did have kind of, the pus bubble or whatever in that pop, so that is good to go. I did cut my finger yesterday right here on the backside of this finger from bowling. I'm a bowler, by the way. And so I went practicing yesterday, and I didn't have much time, so I bowled like 6 or 7 games in 1 hour, and ended up like ripping my skin there. So that's kind of annoying. All right, let me pull this heater, the preheater out. The little tiny preheater. Okay, so again, another caveat. If you didn't watch last week, the equipment I have is not the correct equipment. Okay, and that's kind of what the part of the fun is. Can you do this with the wrong equipment? So we got a new membership. Thank you for the donor board member. Donor board member, nice. So can I do this with inadequate equipment? That's kind of what I'm thinking that the premise of this is. And I know a lot of people have done this, and they probably have better equipment than this. Maybe they have done it just with less equipment than this. But the whole problem with this setup I have is this is a small little preheater, and we need to preheat the board before we start trying to pull any chips off. But you see how big the board is compared to this? So we have a whole area that's hanging off. And so we need to be able to heat the board up to 200 degrees or 180 degrees or something like that. And then we'll finish heating it to 220 to be able to pull the chip off. And, you know, that's what we have to try to do. So does change chat scene. Do you guys like that other chat scene, the way that we have it right there with it? Or do you like the new one or the old one? What's my average? 209 right now, or 207, I think, something like that. I used to be a really good bowler back in the day, like back in, I don't know, in my young day. I bowled, 300 when I was 20 years old, so that was like 25 years ago. And I haven't bowled in like 10 years, and then I just joined a league a couple weeks ago. And then I actually thought I was going to be a 190 bowler, a 195 or something like that, and I've been averaging a lot higher than like 220 or something like that for the most part, and so I'm creeping my average up. So we got new, old. I think we might need a poll for that. Let's do a poll to see if we want to switch chats to the new one or the old one, because I'm getting a little run a poll, yes. So you just do it like switch to new chat or something like that. I don't know. Yes or no. It has to be a yes or no answer, obviously. And so I'm going to get the board. Oh, before I get all this going, I know I'm all over the place. 220 is a bit too high. Yeah, I'm not getting, there's no way I can preheat this board to 220, just to let you know. So that preheater, I put it at 400, and I can get the board up to about what did we get it up to? 130, I think. It's the best I could do. So it's not like it's going to get that hot. And then 220 is what I had to, right as I got it to 220, whenever I was actually heating the board with the hot air station, is whenever the CPU got loose. That's whenever it came loose. So what I wanted to show you, and I totally forget, and we have the polls going, by the way. It looks like most people are saying new chat, right? New chat. Cool. We got 50-50 on Twitch, 70% on YouTube. So what I want to show you here is this laptop. Oh, the 17R4 is a scrapped laptop. It was somebody I was working on back in April, and then the motherboard had a bad CPU. He decided to scrap the machine, so he just scrapped it. And I've had it in a bin over here off to the side. It's the same CPU that we're messing with. So I'm thinking we install it onto this board and get it installed on here. And if we fix it, we can just send this back to the guy. I don't know, surprise him. Maybe he'll be happy, maybe he won't, maybe he'll care, maybe he won't, but I think it's kind of a fun little side thing to think about, right? New chat, old thermal camera. Okay, all right. Yeah, I still haven't returned the thermal camera yet. Okay, let me see if I can put the new chat on here. Give me a second. I have to add that scene because I haven't added it on here. Scene, chat, and... Wait, why does it look like that? Oh, that's a big old guy put in there. Let me turn off the old YouTube chat. YouTube chat. There we go. And I might need to move it over a little bit. I think I need to move it down though. So I did get it pre-configured on this scene, so that's why I have to do this a little bit. So give me a second. YouTube chat. All right, we'll just move it over just a little bit. There we go. Now it's getting cut off a little bit. Darn it. To size it down just a little bit on this scene. All right. It's pretty good. Okay. Much better? My second-hand job. Okay. All right. So put it on the preheater, insulate the board. Oh, really? Preheater and the board insulator box. That actually could help a lot. That's a good idea. Huh. Or I could just get a real preheater. I don't want to do this for a living anyway. This is just for fun. It's kind of a ridiculous thing to do. But testing new chat from Twitch. Looking good. Okay, so anyway, everyone's all on board on this, right? So I just want to show you what this does before we pull this board out, because we're going to have to pull this board out to put it on the preheater, and I just want to show you what it does. That way we can kind of be on the same page with that. So keep an eye on the power meter. So we changed out the MOSFET on this a while back, or I did. I don't know if I did it on video, but, and so you press the button now, it does 0.47, turns off. Is it slightly obstructed? Is it the glare? Is that better? We're good? Okay, so, but do you see it kind of pulsing? So if I press the power button, well, it really only does it like once or twice, but basically you'll see the CPU just kind of come up and go down, come up and go down. It just does this little pulse thing. And this was a shorted MOSFET on the CPU, so I'm pretty sure that we have an issue with the CPU, because it did get that 20 volts on there. Can you remind me which model of Alienware we're dealing with? This is a 17R4, I believe, or let's see, 17R4. So Alienware 17R4, so circa 2017-ish. The CPU model is going to be the Focus. It's going to be the SR, what was it? Where you at? Where you at, buddy? The SR32Q. 32Q. All right, so I think this is like an i5 chip or something, right? Wouldn't that end up being an i5? I'm like, ooh. Do we all concur today? I think everyone should be concurring at this point. Everyone concurs. All right, so this doesn't work. We can look at this under the thermal camera whenever I take this board out. I just want to show you what it's doing before we change out the CPU. That way I can prove that I either did it correctly or didn't. Can you add a second NVMe to a 7706? I don't think so. 7706 2-in-1 is going to be a low end. Well, it's a 7000 series in Spiron, but I don't recall. You would have to look at if you just go on our website to pull up the 7706 motherboards, that's what I would do, and then just look how many NVMe slots are on there, because there's pictures. You inspired me to start a repair job with FPGA, really, developmental boards that recover work from trash. That sounds like super exciting. Super excited. Well, I'm glad I inspired people. And DIY Dave is here. DIY Dave is here. No church today, huh? Or are you back in the very back pew right now, chatting away? Oh yes, we all concur. So I only have this in with one screw because I knew that I was going to be having to take this out. Knew that I would. Oh, it's an i7 7700. Why did I? Oh, because I think I looked up an S before. I think I looked up what the stencil name was, not what the. Okay, so it's at least it's adequate. 7700 is a decent. How much would you to change a Ryzen 5 to a Ryzen 7 core? I don't change CPUs out. This whole stream's a joke. I will not change the CPU. Oh, here's another way of looking at it is, I don't work on things that are working. I only fix things that are broken. Is that a better way of saying it? So if your laptop's working, I won't mess with it. I don't want to break it because I don't want to be responsible for breaking it. Now, if you have some sort of like clause that says I don't care if you end up breaking it, because yeah, I don't want to do that. Do I work on desktops? Nope. Only laptops, Dell and Alienware laptops. That's it. Yeah, and spamming chat. That's what I see a lot of comments in there. So yeah, just be careful with like putting the same comment in there multiple times, because that's kind of what we end up seeing happen because you're trying to get my attention. I have a hard time keeping up with chat sometimes, so I do the best I can, and so sometimes just one like pops out. If you do a super chat, then I'll see it. So if that's something important to you for me to read your message, then send a buck over to me. It will pop up on the screen. It will even ding to my bell next to me, and I will see your message, so you don't need to spam the chat for that. You have a G-Series 5500, one of those with a silicone rubber under that tore slightly. Can be fixed. The rubber cup. Replace the whole keyboard. Oh, yeah. If your little rubber plunger broke under your keyboard, yeah, just replace the whole keyboard. I mean, you could probably rig it and try to get it working, but that's not worth it. Just replace the whole assembly. I mean, I don't think we sell them for that much. Maybe keyboard palm rest together, less than $50, $45 or something. I don't think it's that much. Okay, the motherboard's out. Let's just look at it under the thermal camera before we actually proceed. Let me get a DC jack. Yeah, spamming is freaking annoying, man. Let me get the thermal camera working. You're not from the US, so it's quite expensive. Yeah, so the shipping would be another probably $30 or something. I mean, it depends on which country, obviously, but we ship FedEx, and we get the negotiated rates down to like 67% off usually, so we actually pass all that over. We don't make any money on shipping, so what the price you're getting is going to be a lot better price than what you would get if you had to ship it yourself. So let's see. Thermal camera's up and running. Good. Let me hook up the DC jack. We're just gonna, all I want to do is see what the thermal signature is of this before we change it out, and then whenever we change it out, I want to see what the thermal signature is, right? That's kind of my whole point. We're gonna be changing this CPU right here. Let me verify it's the same CPU again, because my brain might have been on a long day. Oh, see, it's a different CPU. What do I do? What do I do? Do you think it's, oh, no, it's the same. 3.2, it's a Q. Oh, you can't see it. Mods, you should have changed my screen. There you go. All right, so we did confirm it's the same CPU, so we're good to go. Okay. You're missing the intro today. Did I not? New day, new laptop to repair. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to try to change a soldered-on CPU on this here motherboard. Is it going to work? Probably not, but you can watch me epically fail. Stay tuned. How's that? And I do this weird voice. I don't know why. So I was looking up Jeff Goldblum quotes and stuff like that, and I think I figured out why I sound like Jeff Goldblum. Okay. I don't think it's my voice, per se. I think it's my stammering, my my can't get out what I'm saying, my talking with my hands, my... I don't know. So it's like... the way Jeff Goldblum can't really spit out what he's trying to say, and I think that's why I sound like Jeff Goldblum. Yes, and you heard my AI voice. That is my AI voice. New day, new laptop to repair. And what's wrong with this one? Okay, plug this in under the thermal camera. I communicate well. That's good. That's great. I wish the power button was on this side. It's so annoying. So annoying. Oh, I think there is a power button somewhere around here. They don't put power buttons on this board directly, and so I have to short out the power button pins, but I was hoping they actually had a power button somewhere else. Oh, they do, on this side. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. They actually have a physical power button on here. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to the CPU, and yes, we're on the new thermal camera that I haven't returned yet. And you can kind of make out the CPU right here in the middle. So pay attention to that. Here, I'll try to get out of the ring of reflection. Let me get my finger back on the power button. Okay, you ready? So did we see it just kind of like pulse right there? So every time I press the power button, it's pulsing in that corner. I'm trying to get a good press on the power button. So it's right there on that edge. What else is turning on? Is the GPU turning on too? So the GPU tries to turn on also, but you can tell it's right on the edge of that CPU, the core. I'm trying to see if anything else looks obvious. God, I really don't like this thermal camera. It's funny. Okay, so we kind of get the point on what we're looking at there. We can see that the CPU here is just heating up right on the corner for a second and then shuts itself off. Yeah. So my old thermal camera has a lot of reflections. That's kind of the only thing I really don't like about my other one. And then, I mean, the quality is not as high either, but it does have those outlines, which I really like. Okay, meter off the center again. You want me to try the meter off the center? Okay, the center has that reflection from my ring light. It's not even a reflection, by the way. So like you can see, you see that little circle? That's my ring light. Now watch, ring light's off. The ring light is not even on right now, and it's still there. And so I think it's because it's the thermal signature. Now if I put my hands kind of around here, this is just helps it, everything have the same reflection, I guess. I don't know. What's a normal CPU do? The whole die will light up. Let's grab, you want to grab another board? Yeah, let's do another board. I like how someone's asking that. See? You guys are so smart. Everyone works together as a team. Let me just grab a board that will turn on. That doesn't have a CPU failure. There's a whole stack of these that have CPU failures. I got so many of them back here. All right, this one says, that one might have a short on it. Hold on. I probably have 30 of these boards here, or 40. And some of them I've taken parts off already. So it's kind of like, which one do you want to mess with that doesn't have a part taken off of it? These all have parts taken off of them. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. That one looks good. I don't even know if this is going to turn on or not. That's the kind of the problem, is like, will this thing even turn on? And of course it doesn't have a power button on it. Let me plug this DC jack back in. Protection MOSFET short. Oh, this says it has a short on it. Gosh, it's going to be hard for me to find a board that doesn't have a short on it over there, because there's just stacks of these boards over there that have issues. Yeah, short on the main power rail on this one. Well, here, just take it for my word. Take my word for it. The whole die will like heat up. How's that? The LED doesn't produce any heat. Maybe that's remnant heat. Yeah, so I have the light still off. Let's see if it still has the ring has heat. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just reflection because the LEDs were hot. Because I mean it's off still. The lights are off. Now I turn the light on. Lights on. Lights off. Lights on. I mean it literally doesn't change at all. There's no difference, which I think is crazy. Oh, you wanted me to meter off the center. I'm all over the place, man. All right, so CPU we'll put right in the middle of the thermal camera, wherever the CPU is. So right there. The CPU does not measure short to ground. It's going to be a different section of the CPU. You see how it's right on that edge? Right there on that edge. And so what temperature did it get up to? I can't really tell. Right there. I mean, it didn't, is it not a big burst of heat. And I'll show you the measurements too. That's a good point. We should get all of this kind of cataloged and figured out ahead of time before we replace it so that we know cause and effect. So this machine definitely has had some issues. So you can see that this is really hot. I think this is the MOSFET I changed out, or it was shorted. This is commonly the MOSFET that is shorted. And as you can see, this coil is a lot hotter than the rest of them. See how it doesn't even have the writing on it anymore? Meter can move. Oh. The meter can move. Oh, you're talking about on here it can. Can I move it? On the thermal camera? I can't. It's not letting me move it on my phone here. How do I move it? Oh, the power meter, sorry. Yeah, I need to put some new sticky here. Basically, I keep bumping it. Thank you. There we go, okay. I usually have sticky tape here, but because I move the camera a lot, then it gets all messed up, and then I bump it, and then, okay, we're good. Where am I at? Oh, we're measuring resistance. Once we get all this cataloged, we'll move on. All right, so these first two should be a higher resistance because they're not the main stages, I believe. So we're at 5 ohms, 6 ohms, somewhere around there. No, 3 ohms, okay. And then this one, 3 ohms. Now these are the ones that are all connected together. Or no, wait, I think all of those are connected. Okay, 1 ohm, 1 ohm, and 1 ohm. So this is definitely lower than normal. Lower than normal. Just looking at some of the stuff here. So those three are 1, these are 3. So y'all remember that for later when we change the CPU out, because I want to see if that changes. We can go and measure another board if you wanted to, just to verify, just to compare that. But why not magnetize the meter down? That's a good idea. It's the camera that's moving, it's not the meter, but yeah, that's a good idea because this is a metal table, and so I can magnetize to it. Oh, it reverted back to the ugly chat. Oh, I don't have the ugly chat, or the new chat on this one. Sorry, let me put it on here. I'm sorry. I have to put it on all my scenes, and I didn't put it on this scene. There we go. La-di-da. Let's move it on here. YouTube chat, and then we'll move it over like that. I have to resize it because it's a little big. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to read through the chat real quick because I want to make sure I catch up with anything. And I want to, before we put this thing on the preheater and start doing stuff, what else should we do just to verify that we have a bad CPU, and then to verify that once we put the new CPU on, we've kind of changed what we've done? Anything else you want me to look at beforehand? I've worked on tons of these laptops. I don't know if this is the same one or not. There was one. I don't know if I did a video on this one or not. I have no idea. Can we do voltage injection? We can inject voltage to see, well, I mean, it's 1 ohm. So, I mean, we could inject voltage to see what's heating up. You like the color in the chat. Good. Okay. You like the new chat. Perfect. I like that you like the new chat. I like the new chat too, especially whenever it shows me the super chats and all the other little messages and memberships and all that stuff shows in there. Do you have a G22 series board? A 22G series board? I think I've seen that question a couple times here. I don't know what that is. So if you're talking about G series something, just go to our website. Everything's on our website. Every single part that I sell is listed on our website. So if you need to find something there, you can go there and just type in your service tag. It will pull up all the parts for your machine, automatically matches everything for you. If I don't have it listed there, then I don't have it, because we list everything there with the real-time inventory and everything. So anyway, to look inside the CPU for short causing this heat spike, I don't think so. It's going to be inside the silicon somehow. Is the board taco shaped from the preheat? This board is pretty fugly at this point. But because I heated it again and took the GPU off in a different area. So it's not the worst, but it almost looks like a car that's out of alignment. So you can see this is kind of waved over this way, and this part right here is kind of waved out this way. Yeah, warped and buckled. So that's why we're supposed to have a real preheater on this. That's why I don't, none of this stuff is not, it's more of an experiment and for fun. And like Black Horse Repairs, Ralph, he's done this. He has a real machine. He has, like, hooks up to everything. Vark, thanks for the Prime sub. So he's the real person that does this. I'm just doing this for fun. I don't want to do this as a business, by the way. I don't want to do this. Just a reminder, the whole website of parts you need does not have time to discuss prices. Yep, thank you, Daryl. Yeah, so every single part that sells on my website, real-time inventory, all that stuff, you can just look it up. You can type in your service tag, and it just pulls up all your parts, matches it for you, does all the stuff for you. You don't even have to... whenever you call our customer service and they say, do you have this? We just ask for your service tag. We type it in on the website. It shows you everything. So they don't even have to do it. Are we doing the reball? We did the reball last week, so we have the reball already done. This one's, it's all good to go. You saw my thumbnail. And that thumbnail was, I just took a clip out of the last week's stream. What's Prime sub? So on Twitch, you can become a subscriber. You can either pay a membership, or you can use your Prime membership that you have with Amazon Prime, and then you can just use that, and then that removes any ads or anything like that, but it supports me as a content creator. So, all right, I'm going to start preheating this board. I don't think there's anything else we need to look at beforehand. So this crappy little thing, or it's this cute little thing, is going to help us. We need to tape on our temperature gauges, though. So which one's the bottom one? So what we're going to do is, like we did last week, is we have our dual thermocouples. We're going to put a thermocouple on the bottom of the CPU, on the back, and we're going to put a thermocouple right next to the CPU, so we can know what the temperature is on the back of the CPU and right next to on the top. And we want to get those close to, as close as we can to our mark, 220. Whatever it takes, 220, 221. And I'm going to use Kapton tape. We got a new Coolest Fans member. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Do you have butter or flux? I have Black Horse Flux today. That's what we're going to be using. On Twitch, Wesley's asking a question. Last chance. Do you have 22 G series boards? Otherwise, I'm going to someone else. Do you actually need a quantity? Oh, do I want? Sorry, I keep saying do I have. Do I want 22 G series boards? Sure. I will take 22 G series boards. I'm sorry, I kept seeing that, but I thought you were asking for a model, like do I have something? And again, I'm really bad at reading chat. Phonics has never been my strong suit. Reading is not fundamental for me. So yes, Wesley, I appreciate that. That'd be awesome. I will definitely use them. We got a hype train going on Twitch. Remember having a board repair on my Mustang radiator fan. Interesting, because you weren't able to get the board. Do I have the lotion flux? That lotion flux actually got thrown across the room last week. I have no idea what it was, but I think last Wednesday everyone's consensus was stop using the NF.flux, and so I threw it behind me, and now it's like, I think it's stuffed behind the shelf back here. I can't even get to it. So yeah, we need to have an average of 75 viewers on Twitch to become partner. So that's what I've been kind of working on, and I think right now my average is up to like 68 or something like that, so we're getting close. But they are picky about becoming partner. So anybody on YouTube can definitely come over to Twitch and hang out over there. They only count Twitch people if you're actually chatting, though. That's kind of the annoying part of the way Twitch is. So like if you're just lurking, then a lot of times they won't even count you. Yeah, I only do Dell because I don't want to be a mediocre in a bunch of other brands. I'd rather be an expert in one brand. All right. Got that side done. We'll do the other side. Lurking, perfect. That's all you have to say. It's just occasionally just say lurking. Bend the cable so it touches the board. Yes, I do have it bending and touching the board. You can look closely if you want to see. But we want to make sure the thermocouple is touching the board properly. I do make sure it does that. I can't get this thing high enough ever because it's so high up. But anyway, you can kind of make it out that I'm showing that. Ugh. Anyway, it's touching the board. I can't focus it because I can't get the microscope high enough. And I'm going to have to do the same thing on this one, which is a little more tricky because I need to have it near it, but I don't want to have it like on it or anything. We got another Prime sub. Thank you. So Prime sub is just basically a way of being able to become a member without having to pay because you already have Prime. Most people do, at least. So a lot of people do. And we got another Prime, CRX 2200. I guess, do you have a CRX or is that your initials? CRX is an old Honda racer. People used to race with those things. Black Horse, Ralph over there, you were talking about not doing a CPU replacement during a live stream one time because it's so boring and slow, right? Well, welcome aboard. That's what we're talking about. But sometimes it's part of the excitement. There's other things you can do while you're getting it ready and heating it up and all that stuff. So got that in place. All right, last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I got this lined up. Again, this board heater is not the right size at all. And I may do this by hand, I may not, I don't know. Just lining that up. Let's see, is there any reason why I picked Dell? I'm in Austin. So that's where Dell was started. I got my first load of Dell stuff from back in 2002 with 5,000 bucks I had saved up, and it allowed me to keep doing what I was doing. And I kept getting more trucks and decided to just focus on Dell and laptops only, and it worked out very well. So NF Flux is better than Amtech Flux. NF.flux is not better than Amtech Flux. It's not better. Make sure to put the not there. It's NF dot not better than Amtech Flux. All right, I'm going to start preheating this thing now. We'll have our temperature gauges here. And I can't see them. Of course, you can't see them. Okay, and this thing's going to keep turning off, so you're going to have to remind me to turn it back on. And I don't know if I have them on the right side or not, but I'm going to set this thing to 300 degrees C first, and we'll just bring it up to resting temperature, which should be around 100 whenever the board gets hot enough. And we should see the bottom one heating up first. Dell is still selling a lot of laptops. Is Dell still selling a lot of laptops? Yes, they do. They sell tons and tons and tons and tons. That's still their bread and butter. So So make sure I have this in a good area. Okay. I think the thermocouples are backwards. I need to flip them because it looks like the top one is heating up faster than the bottom, which means that the bottom is on the other one. So I'm going to flip these thermocouples over so the bottom is the bottom and the top is the top. There we go. All right, so the bottom meter is going to be on the bottom of the CPU. The top one's going to be on the top of the CPU, and that way we can kind of keep track of this. We got more Prime subs coming in. Thank you, Brian. Okay, so now we can just chat. While this is heating up, this takes a little while. And you work for a school, an ISD. Let's see if I can, and it starts sending boards to you. Yes, if it's a Dell, you can. A lot of ISDs are going to be working on Chromebooks. But yeah, so if you have like 3110s Chromebooks, those are very, very hard to get these days, the actual board themselves. So we've been having to buy complete systems and tearing those down in order to even get the motherboards to sell to people. So yeah, and I do have a lot of 3110 parts, so for those Chromebooks, if you need them. I believe Northridge posted an update stating that they were working on a high temperature. Yes, he did. He did talk about a high temperature version of his NF.flux, and he said that everybody who's been using his flux in the wrong way should know better. I just thought it was funny. I don't know why. Why would you say that? Like, you bought it, now you're using it wrong. Did you say anything about it not being a high temperature flux? I mean, come on, dude. Lurking in the chats. Thank you. Just come on and lurk on by. Which cameras do you use on the top and the bottom? So for a long time, for this one, I actually used a cell phone, my S10, Samsung S10, but I just switched to, you're holding it wrong, nice. So this is a Nikon Z30. They're super cheap cameras. You can get, I bought them used for about $500, and then you just get like a little wide angle lens with it. So about $550 you can get one of these. They can do full 1080 or full 4K 30, and then you can do HDMI out on them. The only problem I have with them, and then that's what I have on my overhead also. So these are both running at 4K 30, and then I'm downsampling to 1080p. So I could do 1080p 60 if I wanted, but I generally like the higher resolution because then you can crop in and stuff like that. But they do overheat a lot. So that's been the issue that I've had. I found firmware that you can put on it that will keep it from overheating, and I have fans on the back of them. So each one of them has like a clip-in fan that cools them off. So that's what I'm using. You have an Alienware 17R4 from 2014 still running fine. Then it's from 2016 or 2017. 17R4 is actually going to be the 7th gen processor. So it's going to be a 2017 machine. But that's great. Those are the ones, that's this machine right here, 17R4. And sorry, the temperature gauge turns off automatically. And it burns out a lot on that MOSFET on the GPU, so I mean on the CPU, so you're gonna have to get that replaced or try to keep it cool. Used $500 is cheap. Yeah, for a good 4K camera. Because you got to think about it. Like if you kind of hunt around and say, okay, I need a good camera that can record in 4K. Your cell phone's going to be your best thing that you have because you already have one in your pocket. But if you just had to go buy a webcam or something that's a 4K webcam, the dynamic range on it is horrible. You might have some of them that are better than others, but I mean the clarity of this picture is pretty good, right? This is 4K, but even my cell phone, which all the earlier videos I had that were all the way up until about July, I think, were all my cell phone, my S10, Samsung S10. So. You're squeezing it wrong. You're putting too much out. You're putting it on when it's hot. Northridge Fix is arrogant. I love that I found this channel instead. I appreciate it. You know, he means well, I think. I mean, you just really, you got to let him be him. That's kind of the way I think about it. He's proud of himself, and he should be. He came from nothing, and he built it up. So that's, you know, you have to kind of think about it like that. But you could also handle yourself a little bit differently. But he's definitely proud of himself and proud of his stuff, and he has an ego that I think can be messed with very easily. I feel like maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know him. I can't really speak bad about him. I buy stuff from him occasionally, and so that, you know, but I don't like his flux so far. Um, you switched on the Alienware. What model of dual thermal meter am I using? Oh, Amazon special. Let's see. I'll show you what model it is. Show it right there at the top. KJ thermometer. It was the only one I found that it was on Amazon for like, I feel like $30 maybe, or $25. So I don't know how accurate it is. I don't really care. Again, all this is just kind of like you're trying to get relative and you're trying not to spend too much money. You had an S10e, seriously underrated phone. Yes, the S10e was, I think it had just a little bit less specs than the S10 because it was using like last year's CPU maybe or something like that. Just ignore him. Do you have spare parts for colleges such as CPUs and graphics? I mean, I have, you know, everything I sell is like on our website. I sell to about 2,000 schools and universities. And so, I mean, CPUs and graphics cards are not kind of what's in laptops in general. I do have CPUs and graphics cards from older machines, but it's only, I only sell laptop parts. So what about the board heater? The board heater is a 853A. So if you just search for that, it's like the main cheap board heater, less than $100. And it's worked, you know, it's fine, but like, so right now we have it heated, I have it set to 300C, and the board's only going to get to about 100 on the bottom thermometer, and then we're going to crank it to 400, and we're going to get it up to about 130, and that's the most we can do. You came from Twitch, I mean, you came to Twitch from YouTube, and can't figure out the Prime sub button. I think it's, Premise, can you tell him? I don't know where it is either. Why do our G-Series, why do our G-Series in the ISDs always fail? I mean, G-Series in general are Alienware machines just in a plastic housing. So a lot of times the failure is the plastic housing, so the hinges break and things like that. If you're actually having motherboards fail, it's a heat issue in general. You can, you know, change your max throttle, or you can throttle the CPU. If you just change the power settings and change it to like, you know, 90% or something like that, then it will never, you know, max out the CPU and it won't get as hot. Hello from Greenland. Welcome, welcome. Big fan. I appreciate that. Hey, you found it, you figured it out, Toaster. It keeps jumping. I want to read this message here. Sorry, I keep trying to read this message. There we go. Did you replace the liquid metal from the laptop yesterday's video? Yes. Yes, that was an older video, so it's hard for me to remember. So that was, again, I have a lot of backlog of footage, and so that was just an older video. But yes, I definitely did replace that with PTM. All right, so where are we at? Yeah, okay, so is it, whenever this thing starts kind of leveling out is whenever we have to crank it up a little higher. So 87, it looks like it's leveling out. I thought we'd get up to 100. Okay, I'm going to crank this all the way up now to 400C, and then we'll see what happens. Uh-oh. You made it to the stream, but you yelled at us on accident. No problem. It's all right. I appreciate you paying attention to that. No worries. There are people who do like to talk in all caps, though. I can tell you that. Okay, coffee time. Coffee time. What's your take on motherboards from the early 90s? And the boards, are they better made, continuous thermal cycling, outside weather? We took apart a laptop from 1991, and we noticed that most of it was hand soldered. So I'm thinking that motherboards made nowadays might be better because they're not hand soldered, I think. You know, I don't know, because I started this business in 2002. I was working on these since like 97, 98, working on these types of machines. And so I don't know. I don't know what's better or not. Yeah, Dave, let me mod you real quick over there on Twitch. There you go. You should be good to go there, Dave. Where's the bourbon? I actually ran out of bourbon. I'm down to my last dribbles of like most of my bottles, and I need to go for a run. But today's Sunday, so I'm kind of stuck. You love the videos, always informative. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. All right, we're at 105 on the bottom sensor and 107, or no, 107 on the bottom sensor and 75 on the top sensor. What we're trying to do is get this board heated up to a kind of a balanced state, and then we're going to do the rest of it and take it off. 110, it's coming up. Let's see, still lurking. Good job. I love it. You're still lurking, and you see how the count's going up on Twitch because of that. Whenever you are putting those messages in, Ricardo, do you want to be modded too, huh? I have to get a consensus for my other mods for that. So we basically, we need to have a little meeting and figure out who we need to give upgrades. Dave is already a mod on our YouTube. That's why I was moving him over there. We are getting close to equilibrium here. So once we see this bottom temperature start to kind of balance out, then we know that we've kind of maxed out what our board heater is going to do. And the board feels pretty hot, but like over here, see, it's not as hot over here, because we're only heating this one middle area, and that's kind of what I worry about. So 114 is the maxed out. I thought we were going to get the 120 on this. Do you have a Discord? I don't have a Discord because I can't keep up with it, but JFix does. And if you type, let's see if we can try it out. ! Discord. See if it works. I think I updated the code so it works. You're still debating on attempting a repair on the 17R4 yourself and sending it to me. Go ahead and try it yourself. Oh, it didn't work. Darn it. I don't know why I can't get that darn code to work. It's super annoying. If I go to commands, Discord, it's basically, give it to everybody. I'm just like trying to give access to everybody. I just don't know how to make it where anybody can do it. Okay, try it again. I just edited something. ! Discord. But yeah, so whenever you're taking it out, just be careful that it works for the mods. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Whenever you're taking out the 17R4 motherboard, just make sure you unplug the LCD connector. That's really all that you need to do. Okay, it's still not working. Oh, did it work? It works for Dave's Unbranded because it works for mods. Anyway, okay, so the mod can do it and it pulls it up, and every 30 minutes it gets put in there. But anyway, that's a Discord that JFix set up. I poke in there and help out a little bit, but I can't keep. I have so much stuff going on, I can't keep up with all this stuff. So, all right, I think we're good, right? 120, 122. Well, I guess it's still going up a little bit. Black Horse, you still here? Because I know that you have like a heating curve that you're trying to heat the board up to at a certain speed, and should max out at 122. Is that from last week? Yeah. And so yeah, and so basically, you know, the curve, you don't want to heat it up too fast. Well, this thing obviously at full bore is going to heat it up as fast as it can heat it up. And so you're saying 122 is where you actually heat it up to? Because I mean, this thing is up to 125 now. On your thermometer, disable the pana. Oh, well, that would be great. Let's see, menu, hold units, hold min max, hold high, adjust. There's only 4 buttons on this thing. I don't see. I don't see where it is, but we're almost done. I do 210 on the bottom and 205 on the top. Okay. Well, I can't get that high, so that ain't happening. But I usually just try to get this as high as I can get it, and then I just bring it up the rest of the way with this, and it's worked. It's worked so far. But I could probably start pulling off the... Yeah, let me see if I can raise my microscope up. Let's see if I can start getting the sticky off. What is that? You gifted a sub? Wes? Thank you. Well, I guess I called you Wesley earlier, but Wes. Thank you. Still can't get in focus. Still can't get it high enough. I just wish I could get this thing high enough. Anyway, so these little rubber things we're going to need to take off. Now that the board's hot, they just come right off, which is nice. Nice and nice. Or glue. I don't even know what I call it rubber. Seems very rubbery. I don't even know what this compound is. Okay. I'm going to see if I can raise the microscope up again. A little higher to get it in focus, but this is where I'm starting. Okay, got those off. We'll go up a little bit higher. I'm going to need a phone book to sit on because this is a little bit high for me to be looking through here. All right, that looks good. Let's start adding some flux in. Oh, we need to clean the CPU off. Oh, y'all should have reminded me. Sorry, wrong button. I forgot to clean the CPU off. That's so annoying. I did that last time too, where I was like, okay, let's get going here, and then I didn't clean off the CPU, and so you can't even like pick this thing up. Yeah, I pressed the stream ending button. I have a kind of a stream deck looking thing next to me, and that the overhead scene and the ending stream button are right next to each other. New day, new laptop. But we can put that music on in the background. It's my brother's track. Oh, ooh, that's hot. What am I doing? What in the wide world? Okay, I'm going to put some flux in here now because we are maxed out. We're going to have to start heating this thing to take it off. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Rest in peace. I thought it was a rage quit. That'd be funny. You're like, that's it, I'm done. Yeah, I don't rage. I don't rage. I do get annoyed though sometimes, but it's just like, what do you do? What do you do? I could have been testing ideas to improve the camera. Is there epoxy underfill? I don't think so, because whenever we pulled the other one off, it came off pretty easy. It does feel like sometimes like a pad is still stuck there, but whenever I pulled it off, it was fine. What's your stance on right to repair? Well, I think it's very, very important. I think that Dell is actually pretty good about it. For the most part, because Dell puts manuals up, right? So they're putting up like how to tear apart your machine. And I think it's hard to say like, hey, as a company that produces something, you are required to give schematics. I think that's a hard thing to do. But if it's a end-of-life product, yes, I think they should be able to just say, okay, you know, we're not going to support it anymore. So if we're not supporting it anymore, then you can support it yourself by, here you go. That's what I think should be the way to go. But as for a product that got developed in R&D and all this stuff, and you spend a lot of money and time to release a product, I don't think that out the gate they should be required to give away everything for free, obviously. But if you want to own it and you want to support it, and they're not going to support it anymore, then they should be able to hand over all the stuff, right? That's my take. It's end-of-life things, mainly, you know, that's what I think, because it's like, if you want to own this thing for 20 years, then own it for 20 years, and don't make it where I can't own it for 20 years. If you're not selling the parts anymore, because that's what ends up happening is like Dell will manufacture parts for a certain period of time, and then the only parts that are in the ether is what's in the ether. That's what's out there, right? So, and I buy those parts out and I hold them in my warehouse, and then I'm the kind of the, after Dell stops supporting it, I'm the one supporting it. That's kind of the way it works. And a lot of times I'll either have to buy a whole machine to get the parts for people, if it's something like a very rare part, or we have whatever was left over from some of these other things. So it's, you know, it's a tough one, but I think it's important. I think that people should have the right to be able to own something, and that's what's driving me crazy, is that I don't feel like people can own anything at this point. because of the way everything is set up. So, all right, Black Horse, so you said this stuff is good, right? We're going in with it. So I'm going to add this on here, and we're just going to start kind of getting some underneath here before we go with it. So this is our Black Horse formula. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to blame him for it. Now, if I can't get this stupid applicator thing to work, I just bought this. I don't use this style, so I'm not used to it. Ooh, a little boily. Boil, boil. Is it going to suck underneath there? That's what we're looking for. Boil, boil. So it's going to boil off, I guess, right? You guys can change the screen if you can't see it. Oh, moderator, exclamation point microscope would have changed that. I'm sitting here working, putting a bunch of stuff on here. I'm seeing it boil, but y'all can't see it. Exclamation point microscope, because I don't pay attention sometimes. Oh no, it fell off. What's the IPA? Oh, it's that's IPA and glycerin boiling off. Okay. I do like me some alcohol. All right, so I think we have a good amount in there. It's not sucking any more up. And it's not boiling anymore. So I guess it boils right at the starting, and then it kind of chills out. Oh, it's sticky though. I can feel the stickiness. Let me clean my hand off. Need more solvent. Need more solvent. Image is freezing. Is image freezing for people? Dropping frames. I have 0 drop frames over here, guys. So I'm not sure what that is. Mine's saying it's fine on my side. Should I proceed? Or is everyone having an issue? Or is it only Twitch that's having the issue? Because my computer here is saying no drop frames. Oh, I froze up for a second. Interesting. Well, I'm sticky. Black Horse, I'm sticky. I don't like that. We're fine now. Okay, are we ready to pull the CPU? You concur? Let me know if you concur, and I'll proceed, and we will pull the CPU off. I'm going to reset the thermometer so it doesn't shut off. Concur, concur. Let's do it. Yank it. Oh my gosh, my hand is like so sticky. Look at that. Like, I can't get it off. How do I get this stuff off of me? What are you doing to me, Black Horse? It's like, do I need some Goo Gone? So I'm using 99% alcohol. Okay, we're yanking it. We're going in. All right, so keep an eye on the temperatures there. So we have one thermocouple on this side, and so this one's going to get a lot hotter than the other side. We're going to start with IPA cleans it well. Well, I'm going to keep working on it then. We're going in here. We got. Let's see if we start heating this up. I don't know what angle we should do here. How did we do this last week? I can't remember. Did we do a separate camera? Did we do overhead? Oh, I need air. Whew. Smoking. Y'all see the smoke? Okay, just keep an eye. So the bottom one, the 186 is what we're working on. Trying to get over 200 to 220, whatever it takes. 221. Use sandpaper. That will clean it, huh? It's non-toxics. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, so I'm just kind of moving this back and forth here. We're trying to heat this evenly. And try not to breathe in too much of this non-toxic smoke. Okay, it doesn't work. Oh, come on. Come on. All right, I have my sucker chip puller here all turned on. And we're going to start tapping this here. We're getting close. We're at 220. It's still not all the way loose yet. I'm like tapping it. Nope. Interesting. We're at 230. Last time, right as I hit 220, it came off. Thanks for the prime sub, Charlie. We're at 240. I don't know if I want to go much higher than this here. I'll bring this down there. No need to hurry. Okay. Well, I'm just seeing the temperatures. That's why I'm like, it should be hot. But it's not boiling any more of the flux out. I feel like I need to add some more flux to it. Patience is the key. All right. Yeah, we're using the Black Horse Flux. Only got $20 temperature gauge for $40. Still glue on? Maybe. I mean, I didn't see any glue when we took... No, I took the glue corner off. I reached the goal of the new subs already. 108. I wonder if we can hit 900 followers. We're at 810 on Twitch. CPU is dead anyway. Yes, this is a bad CPU, so we can do whatever we want. You're questioning the flux. Well, Black Horse, this is his... he pulls CPUs. This is his own formula, so we have to trust that he knows what he's doing here. But I wouldn't mind... I feel like I need to add some more flux, though, because it's... I don't see it bubbling out of there anymore. Just don't know if it got enough in there. Ooh, look at it bubble. It's raining bubbles. It doesn't feel like it's sucking under the chip as much, like the Amtech. That's what I'm used to it doing. Ooh, there's so much smoke. So much smoke. Yeah, Black Horse Repairs is in the chat right now. That's why we keep saying Black Horse. It's Raph. Raph or Roth? Is it a hard A or a soft A? Go with my gut. Yeah, I didn't need to heat it this long last time. It just came right off. Even whenever I did the GPU the other day, it really was already off here. I don't know why this does not want to loosen up here. Yeah, it's not coming loose at all. I don't smell... That smells a little piney. Yeah, a little piney. Don't forget to stay hydrated to keep hydrated. Do I need to stay hydrated? Yeah, I do. It's getting hot in here. Yeah, I'm getting concerned now. There we go. Okay, it's moving now. Okay, let's grab it. You love the smell. All right, let's grab it. Of course, I moved away long enough and then now it's not loose anymore. There we go. Got it. I'm going to keep that on for a little bit. Let me turn this off. All right, that was a lot different than the first time we did it. I can tell you that. Like, all these chips are loose around here, so I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did different. We're going to look at the flux pattern. I want to make sure we had flux going all the way around in there, because that's the other thing I was concerned with. I didn't think the flux was really getting underneath the chip all the way. So let's just take a look here. Oh, and I pulled the pad off. I knew that it grabbed, so we're going to have to rebuild this pad right there in the corner. I did, so it looks like it wasn't all the way desoldered on that corner. Yeah, whenever I grabbed it, it was like pulling. Yeah, it's a pine sol fresh taste or smell. I shouldn't be tasting it though. But flux, I want to see if we have enough flux here. Let's see. So we definitely had enough flux around here. Is that, the board is ruined. Is the board ruined? That looks ruined to me. Yep. That looks like a ruined board to me. Do you see it? I don't know why it took so long to heat up. Yeah, it was like, and this could be part of its, you know, being ruined in the first place, right? Like bad CPU or shorted because of that. But wick it first and you'll see. But it's like bulging on all these different spots. So yeah, I feel like it got too hot myself, but yeah, we'll wick it. Let me get the stuff out of my way. Popcorns, exactly. Yeah, so it's fine. Well, I have like 25 of these boards, so it's not like a big deal. Actually, it is a big deal. I should have done it right the first time. Oh, God. Well, that's trash. Well, that was fun. No, that's why you're supposed, this whole thing's supposed to be a fail in the first place. I wasn't supposed to actually succeed, but we're gonna grab another board and we'll pull it off. Look at that. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Oh my God. Oh no, I need more flux. Yeah, I know, but but you're not seeing what I'm seeing here. Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? That's messed up, bro. That's messed up, bro. Look, if I just touch this, all the solder mask comes off because the whole thing is like bulged up. I mean, this is all a ground plane, I guess, but, or some of it is. Yeah, this board's trash. All right, move on to the next board. There's nothing I can do. All that solder mask is coming off. Rest in peace, board. Rest in peace. All right, so you guys have that documented. You guys have that documented, that it was completely ruined. I'm glad everyone got to witness that. Super exciting. You want to see what the underside looks like? Yeah. Board was too humid? You think so? Is that what that means, I guess? Let me turn off this heater. I mean, I guess so. All the rest of my boards have been drying on my drying rack back here because, you know, I've been kind of waiting for the day that I get to do this. Did the flux have acid in it? Yeah, I don't know. Black Horse, what do you have in there? It's a secret formula. Did you scrape the gold of the board? Yeah, I'm going to melt this whole thing down. No more Black Horse then? I don't know. We'll have to take a vote on that one. Let's grab it. We can grab another board though and start going. No acid, no clean, no toxic. Is it gluten-free? You smell sabotage. Black Horse. Did you sabotage me? Did you try to make me look bad on a stream? No. I think this is actually good content. So now, if it worked, it would have been better content. So it's a win-win-win. Although, wow. Yeah, props. Most people wouldn't have done this, right? Most people would want to succeed or to not look bad. I'm fine with it. Because it's not about ego, man. Not about the ego, bro. I need to somehow get this board off of here without burning my hands. Now, maybe we should pull this GPU off since it's sitting right here and it's already, the board's already hot. You know, just to see how it goes, see if it's faster, and just use like, maybe just use the Amtech flux, although I need to move the liquid metal again. Why not? Yeah, here, I'm gonna pull this while we're here. Who knows? Okay, so the thermometer is still on this part of the board though. What do I need to do here? Let's see. Oh, look at this. Have you ever experienced with the I2C device that marked the device manager? Touchpad didn't work. It showed up. Trackpad unplugged. Yeah, so that's a EC chip issue. I fixed that by either replace. It's really just replacing the EC chip. Fixes that issue because it goes through the EC chip. Thanks for the question. Yeah. So, and those things have a notoriously EC chip getting corrupted all the time on those. Anyway, look what I'm trying to show you. Look at this, people. My thermometer or my thermocouple was sagging down. So I don't even know if the temperature was right. So what model is the thermal plate or the thermal heater? The preheater is an 853A. I'm just going to move this thermocouple over and then we're going to pull the CPU or GPU off since it's already here. It's already hot. See if I can get this held down better this time. You need a larger tip and lower temperature on the soldering iron. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I did use the wrong tip. I usually use a different tip for that. That's a good point. But I mean, I was literally just touching it and that solder mask was just coming off, so. That explains it. The board was hot enough. Yeah. Although it seemed hot enough, but the thermocouple was kind of floating, so it looked like it was hotter than it was, maybe. So I'm going to tape it down like that. All right, let's see if we can just pull this damn thing off. Damn thing, man. And we have no reason to pull this off, except that we're just going to do it for fun. Right? First time live, welcome aboard. You get to see the failure in action. All right. Now the question is, should we use Black Horse again, or should we use the Amtech 559 that I used last time, which takes it off real easy? If you can find the exact EC chip, you just replace it and then rewrite the BIOS. No, the EC chip needs to be programmed ahead of time. So there's programming pads on the JDebug header, and so I have a special program where you have to do, so you can't just put a new one on or else it won't have anything on it. Use it again. So here we need a vote for this. Actually, do we still have a vote running for something? Was Black Horse better than NF? We have a poll here. Poll the GPU. We got a question there. Okay. So I'm going to stop both polls real quick because I want to figure out which one we're going to use. How do I stop that poll? Looks like a lot of people want to do the GPU. Okay. All right. So figure out which, if we're going to use 559 or the Black Horse again. I wouldn't mind trying the Black Horse again just to give it another go, because each time we're going to fail just a little bit because we're not used to it. But last time, when I pulled this GPU off of here, it came off very easily. So I was very surprised. Immortal became a Prime sub member. Welcome. Thank you. And what GPU are we pulling today? Ouch. It is an N17E G2A1, which is what, like a 1060? What's a Prime? The Prime sub on Twitch it's like becoming a member on YouTube, but you get to use your Prime membership through Amazon as the membership. So when you're on Twitch, because we're trying to get more people on Twitch, because I need to have an average of 75 viewers on Twitch. So more people are going over there. Right now we have 90 people on Twitch. But the more people we have over there, the more likely we'll be able to get to affiliate or to a partner. All right, so black, it looks like we have a 50-50, or it's 54. Let me see if I can pull up the polls on here. Is it going to show up? We got one poll showing up. Not getting the other one to show up. Got Twitch showing up. Polls. YouTube. Okay, so there we go. You can see the polls. We're going to pull the GPU now. We're just doing the GPU because the board's already hot, and it doesn't take that long if it's already hot. That's why we're doing it. Again, this is, we're just kind of messing around. Oh, it's a 2070. Okay. And this GPU is good, so we might as well have it off to the side. I can just have it off to the side. I could put it on a necklace, put it on a belt buckle. I can do whatever I want with it. You have a programmer. My gosh, come on. This thing jumps around when I'm trying to read a question. Stop it. Now I messed up and reverted it back. Can you do both EC and BIOS? I ordered a set on eBay. I mean, I could do both. Yeah, I can do whatever you want. So if you need a BIOS written and an EC chip written, I can do both. Nothing, no big deal. Thermal sensors have to make contact with the board itself. That's right. So I have the sensor where I have the thermocouple kind of pointing down at the board. And so it's pressing here on this side, and I'm going to flip it over and just make sure we don't have any sag on this side. And that one's looking good. That's looking good on that side. So we are ready to go. We have the coolest fans member. Welcome. Well, Ralph, it's looking like most people want me to use the 559. Dave, did you get tired of those ads? It's like Twitch you can't even like turn the ads off. It's crazy. They know how to make the money, don't they? It's a 50-50 right now. I don't know what we're supposed to do at this point, but it looks to me like we need liquid metal to hold down the thermocouple. Good try, though. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try it again later this week. I'm going to try pulling some stuff off, and we'll try it again. But this should actually go a lot quicker because it worked really well for me last time. All right, so the board's already hot. Look, it's already at 139. How is it hotter? That's crazy. So this is what I'm noticing already differently, Raph. So here's the 559. And so I'm going to put it right here. And it sucks right underneath there. It's not boiling or anything. And I don't know. I know the boiling is kind of just boils off. But you see how it's sucking underneath? I'm going to put a little bit of yours on the other side, just so I can see what it looks like in comparison. But And I think it's it's not really sucking under there. And that's what I was concerned with, is it wasn't really going under there as well. You see how it's just sitting there boiling? And so like if I put some right here on the edge, see how it just sucks right under there? That's what we're looking for. We need to get that flux to go underneath the chip itself, just to help liquefy the solder. And I usually just keep putting it in there until it stops wanting to suck it under. That's generally how I do it. See that, how it pushed back out right there? So that, there's plenty there. Plenty there. And so yours is finally kind of dissipated, but it's still right here on the edge. You're holding it wrong. I love it. I love it. That's a reference to Northridge. Look at that. It's the bottom is 143 now. Interesting. Okay, let's get at this. Let's get at it. We're going to go overhead again because I can't do the view. Put that right there. Does ship same day mean sometimes? Nope, we ship same day every time, no matter what. Guaranteed. Because we have a bunch of people that rely on us, so we even do Saturday delivery. I mean, it's because I actually have a full team of people. I don't know. He has like his dad and his uncle and all that. We're talking about Northridge Fix because he's worked ships sometimes. Man, I got all these Prime subs coming in. Thank you so much. 104 on Twitch now. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to start heating this up. So we're thinking a lower temp, so I'm going to go 350 instead of 400 that I did a second ago, just to be safe. And then if we need to go higher, we'll go higher. Get some air. $13.10. New subs on the stream. Well, yes, we're at 113. Thank you. Killing it. Premise, you're doing a great job over there. All right, I'm just going to start heating this thing up. I'm not seeing a lot of bubbling except for on the side that has the black horse stuff on there. I'm not seeing a lot of smoke either. So I was seeing a lot of smoke, and what you're seeing is fine, right? Because it's the organic or non-toxic stuff. But it was smoking a lot. Let me make sure my pump is on. 350 is way too much. Well, the thing is that the reason why I'm doing it, I mean, we can start at 300 if you want. But whenever I do this, I can never get it up to temperature. Or at least last week, we started at 300 and we sat there. Well, because you're saying the balls will melt at 230. But it's not like the board is getting that full heat. You see how I have 300 blowing right now? It's almost blowing right on the thermocouple, but it's only at 184. And so I'm just going to keep doing this until it maxes out, and then we'll have to go up. But we need to get that temperature above 220. Still lurking. Brian's still lurking. You don't like the flux stick to what you know. YouTube is 5 seconds behind. What happened there? That's strange. Usually YouTube's right on par. Usually Twitch is the one that's 5 seconds behind. Last time the corner didn't melt. Yeah, you're right. And maybe it's because of the way I'm holding it on here. And I could do it by hand instead, and that might be the way to go. But I don't want to have to sit here and hold this up. Come on, people, let's hit 1,000. We're almost there on YouTube. More lurkers. And the more you lurk, the more the numbers go up. YouTube is slower, huh? Interesting. I wonder what happened. They must have had a hiccup of some sort. So you see the bottom of the board's not heating up any hotter, and I'm at 300 C. So I'm going to go up to 350 now. And last time I was able to pull this thing off only with 400. So now we're at 350. So now we have the top of the board getting up over 200. Yes, my counter has broken 1,000. We are pulling a CPU, people. This time, or this is a GPU. We're pulling a GPU, people. Another day, another laptop. And this time we're pulling a GPU for no reason at all, except that we want to see if we can pull it off easily. Do it slowly. Oh yeah, more likes would help too. We need the temperature gauge. So 192. See how we're not even at that full temperature yet? And this is at 350. Is there really only 18 likes on this video and 1,000 views? Or 4,700 views? Do it bellissimo. All right, we're at almost at 200. The GPU has more balls. It's definitely a lot more to deal with. A lot more balls. I almost want to take it out of this holder though, because I don't feel like I'm really getting even heat on here. And I did order one of those, the actual nozzles. Target temp is 220 for the bottom thermometer. So right now it's at 203. 220, 221, whatever it takes, somewhere around there. Come on, people, hit the like button. Oh. Bigger workstation. Yeah, this is not adequate at all. If you're looking at this and going, hey, I can do this, the whole purpose of this is to see if you can do it with not adequate equipment. Yeah, this is definitely a bigger GPU than this one. I pulled this one off last week, and it came off pretty easily, and there's a lot of balls on it. That's like a 10 something. That's right, it was a Mr. Mom's reference. The CPU is still solid. All right, so you see how it's kind of leveling out. 212. I mean, 213. Yeah, this chip is not dead, so we're going to try to get it off nicely. Oh yeah, that's right. If you're on Twitch, don't have it on mute. That's true. Forgot about that. You're paying your bills as you watch. All right, well, don't hit the wrong button. All right, so I'm going to have to go up temperature now. We're at 350. Now we're going to 400 because there's nothing I can do. I'll do a little bit lower air pressure. Still not getting loose. I think I'm going to take this thing out of here, though, because it's making it hard for me to get it exactly where I want it. There we go. I don't know. Is this one going to popcorn too? See, I need to get that bottom temperature up. We're not going to reball. I don't have a stencil for this. This is just pulling this off for fun because we're already here. More power, Captain! Where's the blower bought from? This hot air station is, I don't know where I bought this from, but it's the Atten ST862D, which is really good. Okay, we're getting close now. Okay, we are starting to move a little bit. I don't know. This is why you're supposed to have a real station for this. Starting to move a little bit. But I'm kind of capped out at 220. I need to get above that. More flux, please. Yes, I think flux is probably what we need at this point. She's gonna boom. She's gonna go. YouTube's lagging again. I have no drop frames today, so it must be a YouTube issue. Yeah, I'm trying to become Twitch partner, and so I need to have as many averaged. I need 75 or above on Twitch on my streams in order to become partner. We need the GPU, not the board. That's right, so I can just yank it off. Getting close. Can we get it hot enough? Chat is going with the pictures frozen? Oh no, this is crazy. I don't want to go any higher. There we go. It's lifting a little bit. I don't know. This is actually a lot harder than the last one I did too. So this feels like it's... Oh, I don't know. This is getting old already. I'm bored. Next, please. This is why we need a machine to do this, right? Not a human. More flux. I keep adding flux, but it's not helping. Whew. And the smoke. You're bored? Is everyone on my motherboard? Is everyone on the edge of their seat? Again, I'm at 400. Don't use flux for this stage. Okay. Well, Black Horse says not to add flux. What do you use? More heat? I'm only using 400 heat and I can't get above it. It's like, do I need to go up higher? I'm like, this is pissing me off now. All right. I just up my heat. I'll try not to concentrate on one area. The lack of low mat solder, it's magic. Use proper equipment. Yes, yes, yes. Use proper equipment. But it wouldn't be fun, would it? And this is why this is not practical. I pulled one of these off the other day, though. All right, almost got it. Okay. Come on, baby. Of course. Of course, my suction came off. I'm just going to pick it up with tweezers instead. Oh. Yeah, I tried to pick it up with my suction cup thingy, and the suction cup just came off the end because it had so much stiction from the solder. All right, we got it off. Never again. That was no fun. Ugh. Oh, now I need a break. Oh, now I need a break. Peanut butter jelly. Now remove the VRAM. Sure, we'll remove the VRAM while we're here. You guys kidding? I could do it, it's already hot, but we need to put the CPU on another board. Or else, I need to get the fans what they want. They want to see a computer turn on after I've changed it out. All right. So here we go. Here's our CPU and, oh. Okay. I think I ruined it, the GPU. I'm gonna move this out of the way and then we can look at it. Look at my horrible job. I think we're gonna have to stick with, no, I don't think it's popcorning. Oh, well, look at the board. I don't think it's popcorning, but I don't think we got it adequately heated in the corners. So you can see we have pads there that still weren't all the way melted in the corners. And this whole corner was not melted. That's what was holding it on. The rest of it was already fine. And we don't have any popcorning that I can see. So it looks good. It's just the CPU or the GPU, I did not heat the corner good enough. We didn't ruin the GPU though, so that's good. Although it did take a lot of heat. So the glue's in the corner. I'd taken all the glue off in the corner. Maybe there's some underneath or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's the Black Horse fluxes in this corner. You're right. Black Horse was in this corner, but there was Amtech 559 was in the other corner, so we can't blame it on them, on that. The RAF stuff. And the thermometer stayed, the thermocouple stayed right against the board, so we know that that was correct. Yeah, VRAM is easy to remove. I don't have an issue with that. I remove small chips in my sleep. So now, see how crooked the board is. The board's still hot though. Doesn't look too bad. The sensor is probably 10% off, probably correct. Okay, now we got to find a board that has a bad CPU, that needs a new CPU, that is the same CPU, all the stuff. Okay. Whew. I'm hot. Give me a second to chill out for a second. That was not as easy as I was putting it out to be. I was like, oh yeah, well, it's already hot. Let's just take this thing off here. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm gonna go back to the chat and kind of read a little bit real quick. Real quick. Oh. Oh man. Not as bad as you thought it was going to be. Premise says not as bad, but I thought it was worse. Oh. But now we have multiple chips here. We can put them together. Oh, that's funny. This is the same chip I took off already. Uh-oh. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I pressed the button on accident or something. Are you there? We're good? Yeah, so the chip I pulled off earlier this week is actually the same GPU, and it definitely was not that hard. It did not take that long. It wasn't that hard to get off, so I don't know. I don't know how I keep pushing the wrong button, but I think one of these days I should rage quit and just do that button. Maybe I should have a button called rage quit. Or maybe someone else changed my scene for me. Was it one of my mods that changed that scene just now? New day, new laptop to repair. Hello, chat. Welcome. Imagine 8 hours of this every day. Yeah? Is that what Andy does over at Swindon, right? Or do you do this? Black Horse, do you do this all day, every day? Do you change CPUs out a lot? I don't have any desire to do this. CPU changes. I like the diagnosing. I like the kind of like following the clues and figuring out what's going on. That's my favorite thing. But given how cooked the CPU got, the board's probably warped for sure. Yes. Do you ship internationally? Yes, I ship to 200 countries. You can just go on our website and you can click calculate shipping and it will put your country code in and it will tell you the price there. You like it though. You like changing out CPUs. And you're in Germany, is that right? We can ship stuff over to you. Any Haswell or newer popcorn. Interesting. I didn't know that. Just followed lots of followers. Do you ship same day? I ship same day, Monday through Friday, before 4 p.m. Central Time. Yes. Every day. Always. Do you fix other brands from Dell? No. Only Dell and Alienware. And only laptops. I'm going to grab the stack of boards so we can look through them while we're talking. Can you sell me a G20 P1A1 chip, please? I would have to pull it off a board. I would rather just sell you the board, a bad board maybe. Would you want a bad board? And then you can pull it off yourself. Because I don't sell GPUs. I don't pull GPUs, except for just now. This one says 2.1 error, which is a bad CPU. This one says 2.1 error. This one says 2.1. That one says 2.1. And then this one says bad on the CPU. So I have a stack right here. Bad board is okay. I don't know which board that would come off of though, so I'd have to kind of look around. A G20 P1A1. What chip is that? Raf is in Atlanta? Really? Been pulling for a long time. Oh, I didn't know that. Raf is in Atlanta. Okay, well I had no idea. So we could ship him stuff if we want to change out CPUs. That'd be fun. 3050 Ti. So you want a 3050 Ti? Really? Who would want that? Board's not certified by the FAA. He. I guess you're talking about that Northridge fix video. All right, so, ooh, look at that thermal paste. Some chrome on it. So we're going to turn on some of these. I just want to see what the thermal signature is. And I'm going to look here at the MOSFETs. Just want to see what they look like. But let's turn these on and see what they look like as the CPU turns on. You want an RTX 4090. Not in a laptop, though. Do not put those in a laptop, which I would guess is lower end because it's mobile style. Excuse me. So I guess theoretically it'd be more like a 4080, but still, I mean, any of those machines that we've had a 4090 in have been a hard time keeping them cool, and we've had issues with them, so. But I might be able to find you a motherboard that's bad. I don't generally sell bad motherboards, so. Board repair service for Raspberry Pi. I mean, I guess Raspberry Pis are a lot more than 35 bucks at this point, but is it cost effective to repair a board? A Raspberry Pi board? I mean, my board repair is $250, so a Raspberry, I definitely wouldn't be able to charge that, right? So you'd have to charge like $80 or something for a board repair for a Raspberry Pi, and I guess if it's the same old, then maybe it might be worth it. Some would say CPUs look better than factory. Yeah, maybe better than factory. I just plugged in this motherboard and it's pulling 0.06. We're just trying to find a board that has a bad CPU. This one supposedly has a 2.1 error, but if it's pulling 0.06, then we should have something getting hot because it should be sitting at 0.02. So what is getting hot here? Don't see anything. Kind of strange. Let me see if I can power it on. See what the thermal signature looks like. 0.09. All right, so I don't think this one's going to be any good for our candidate because it's not even really starting up. Let me find another one. And we're only switching motherboards because I ended up ruining the other motherboard when we pulled off that chip. How much can I fully... Wait. How much can I take fully working board for 9510? I rephrase that question for me again. I don't know what that question is, what you're asking exactly. Power meter cam, thank you. Let me put some more tape on this thing. Okay. There we go. Power button. This one does not have a power button, of course. And it's pulling not, it should be pulling 0.02, but it's not, so. The power button latch is broken here. If I short those out, it should come on. It is, okay. So this is a CPU coming on constant. And we have 1 volt going to the CPU. The GPU is on. And so I believe this one says it's giving a 2-1 error, so it looks like it's starting up the CPU and then giving it a CPU error of some sort. So this is a different symptom than the other one. The other one, it would try to come on, try to start it, and it would just kind of like burn it out on that one corner or just shut the whole machine off. Now it's just sitting at 126 amps. And just hanging there. And it's pretty hot. I mean, you can see what temperature it is, obviously. So this one could be it, because it's probably going to end up getting a 2-1 blink code. I don't have a light hooked up to this, so I can't tell. Let me make sure it's the same chip, though. I didn't think about that. You have an M16R2, and I want to know if it's possible to remove the heatsink and assemble the motherboard without removing the heatsink. No, not generally. I've only taken apart one of those. We did it on a stream, so you can look up the stream. It was a while back, though. And this is a different chip. This is an SR2FL. So I don't think we can do the same chip. So the 16R2 is different than the 16R1. So, but most of the time what they do is they put the heatsink on and then it plugs in on the opposite side, so you can't even deal with that. You can't change it out. You have to pull the whole board no matter what. 32Q. So this is our same chip. Let's see about this one then. What happened so far? Well, we pulled the CPU to try to install a new one, and we popcorned the board because it overheated it. And then now we're trying to find another board that we can move to instead to install it into. And I'm trying to test different boards. These all should supposedly have bad CPU errors. Okay, so this one just spiked for a second. Where's the CPU at? It's right here. This is the CPU. It just spiked for a second to 1 something amps and then shut back off. An RTX 8090 pulls 5,000 watts. You're talking about in the future? CPU swap? Yes, that's what we're messing with, a CPU swap. And it's non-professional CPU swap. Don't follow my instructions. It's not correct. Let me measure the resistance on here. That looks pretty good, actually. 5 ohms, 4 ohms. But this one has a note that says 2-1, bad CPU. And it's the same CPU that we want to mess with, so that's why I want to mess with it. I thought we had it pull current. How could you show the popcorn? So whenever we pulled it off, you could see bubbling, and then when we tried to clean off the pads, it just took away all the solder mask. All right, I'm pressing a power button. Of course, this keeps moving over. Nothing's happening when I press the power button. All right, we're going to have to go to another one. I'm sorry. Here, I'm going to add some tape to this power meter camera. Hopefully that will fix it. I'm just going to add a piece of tape down here. I was getting 1 ohm on the old one. Now we're getting 4 ohms on this one. So I'm kind of thinking that that's probably not a good candidate because it also, A, isn't starting up either, but it should be coming on and pulling something, putting some current into the CPU and trying to turn on the CPU, and then it will eventually go to that error. That's what it should be getting, but I'm not seeing that on that board. And I'm just going by the notes. Okay, let's get that lined up. Right there. Stay. Okay, there we go. Now I can bump it and it just stays. But now it's not in focus. Why aren't you in focus? I feel like it's not in focus anymore. There we go. Okay. All right, greetings. It's 1 a.m. Where are you at? That's crazy. Philippines. Okay. We're going to keep chugging through these quickly. I'm starting to get bored. Or I feel intimidated that I'm not finding something more entertaining right off the bat. This has really high resistance. This one's also 3. Or am I the same board I just messed with? I don't know. Try to find one with a lower resistance. 2.72. What chip is this? This one says CPU failed, blink code. And this is a 3YY. So that's not the same board. We can't do that one. What about this one? So this is the same chip. This one has a note, says bad CPU. It says bad on here. And I think we took these off. This one might have been one we worked on a live stream. This one looks way dirty though. I'll need to clean this up a lot. Let's measure what we're getting on the CPU. .8, 1.7. You got to go? Oh, well, thanks for coming by. I know, it's kind of boring. Okay, I think this is going to be our candidate, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to find a board that kind of, you could obviously tell had a bad CPU, and we're going to switch it out and be like, hey, it worked. I mean, the odds are it's not going to work, but you already pulled the GPU. Can you DIY a special order CPU to fit in an MXM1? I'm sure, love. I don't know. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know. Who can I watch to change CPUs all the time? I don't know. I mean, Black Horse changes them on his channel, or he has some videos. Thanks for the Prime sub. There's some other people that are changing the APUs and smaller stuff. But none of these bigger chips that I've seen, you know. So that's kind of like, I don't see a lot of people changing the bigger chips out without having the big machine, you know. So let me plug this board in. Coffee drinkers. Yep, got coffee right here. That was my last sip though. What time is it? 2. I misspelled GPU into CPU. It's all right. Let's see. I forgot to ask. All right, let's see the power meter again. Look, it moved. Stop moving on me. Let's move it further back. All right, let's plug it back in. All right, that looks good. Power it on. Boiling 0.51, 50. It's our thermal signature. All right, GPU is on. CPU is not on at all, but we are missing a couple power stages, so I'm not like totally surprised, but let me put these coils back on here and see what it does and fix up some of the soldering or clean this up and then see what it does, and then we'll hopefully use this one right here. Or I could just grab a repair and we can do a repair. Because I got tons of repairs. If this is getting boring to everyone. You need some CA glue in the corners, you know, on the magnets. Have you ever tried a Sofix BGN mini BGA machine, sir? No, I'm only trying the stuff that I have because I'm not buying BGA machines because I don't want to get in the business of swapping BGAs at all. That's not what I want to do. Not my plan. This is more interesting than doing a repair, okay? And Wednesday I do those other repairs. I'm trying to come up with something where Sundays we're doing kind of like, you know, experimental Sunday type of thing. And then Wednesdays are doing the kind of figure out the laptops Wednesday. We need more action, need more power. All right, I'm gonna put these power stages back on. Hopefully this will do something that will be useful. And then we will continue. All right, so let's get some coils. Those are some ugly soldering job, man. Man, I would have done better than you. Right, 6. I just want to see if these are the right chips. The soldering job does not look super good. Of course I did it, but it was like installing it probably live when we did it. Look at all that flux that's under there. Oh, not flux, heatsink compound. It's leaking everywhere. Solder ball right there. Need more power. So how much is a proper soldering station? I think you can get a cheap one for probably 500 or something like that, and then a good one's going to be, you know, 3,000 or 10,000 or whatever, you know. Black Horse setup is an IR 6500 Pro workstation. Yeah, how much are one of those? How much is the Black Horse one? Because I would assume that, like, if I got one, I would probably want like a $3,000 one at least. I wouldn't want anything that's like cheap. The thing is that if you sit here and spend all this time trying to, and you transplant a CPU, then you ruin it, like over and over again. You don't really have time for that. $500 for an IR 6500, $1,000 for the Pro. That's it. And it's good enough. The Quick 7610 is $2,300 US. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you need a real one. What time my live's on Wednesday? 6 p.m. Central Time. Usually they last around 3 to 4 hours, and it's a chat chooses the repair. So I have a stack of repairs. You vote on which repair we're going to work on. The bell command's only for the mods, but if you do a super chat, it comes up as a bell message also. If you know how to use it, it's good. Okay. It's always practice, though. Everything is about that, if you know how to use it. That's what she said. I'm going to transfer some coils off over here real quick. Real quick. Everything's really quick with me, apparently. So the IR6500 is a garbage station. Okay. Well, I know it's probably cheaper, so you can say garbage, but there you go. The RW 1210 rework, $25,000. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just going to reflow these since they look a little janky. And then I'm going to put some new coils on here. What you do is transplant. That's what I'm about to do right now. I'm just trying to get a board that we can transplant to. We tried to do it earlier, and then we pulled the board, the CPU off, and it messed up. Messed up the board. The quick includes $1,600 for shipping, machine only. So does it have the bottom heater and the top heater and all the thermocouples and all the stuff for that quick? That sounds interesting. It sounds like, I mean, good price, $1,600. $6,500 is $400 on AliExpress. So the IR6500, is that big enough for one of these boards that I'm working with right now? Does it have a big enough hot plate or preheater? We just got 5 gifted subs. Well, thank you, truly. I truly thank you. Are we searching for CPU options? I was searching for a board that had the same CPU so we can match. I think there's still something under here. Pads or something? Can't tell. Yeah, it's like the old coil pads are underneath that. What's going on here? I don't understand what we have under that. That side and that side both have something really strange. Might be perfect though. No pricing without a quote. It's way cheaper. What I need is one of these manufacturers to send me one. Try it out, right? But again, I have no desire to have it as a business. People are going to be calling me like, hey, can you upgrade this CPU or whatever, you know? I mean, it would be nice, though, if you have a board come in or a machine come in and it's like, yeah, it's actually a bad CPU. And so you're like, okay, well, I have a donor. You have to have a donor CPU, too, is the hard part. So that's always been an issue in general, is having a working donor GPU or CPU, regardless. And then I'd almost have to have an attempt repair charge or something like that to attempt it, because your vapor chamber can get damaged cooking at 100 degrees. Yeah, that's right. There you go. That's genius. So Black Horse, maybe we'll try that. We'll try doing some CPU and GPU replacements. Maybe we can work together and we do a collab video or something like that. That'd be kind of interesting. I just need to focus though. Focus. Get rid of some of this glare. And move over some coils. Give me these 2 coils right here. Actually, we're gonna make this one. You can't buy a reballed CPU. I mean, maybe, but the thing is what you're asking is, where did the CPU come from? Because what's happening a lot of times is that you're buying a CPU from a board, which is the same thing I have, is like a stack of boards. And so I can just pull it off of there. So, yeah, I mean, you could buy one, but does it work? And a lot of times what I'm finding, like on AliExpress, if you're buying them, you're the tester. So you buy it, you go through the process of installing it, and then it doesn't work. And you're like, well, was my diagnosis wrong, or was the CPU wrong? Or what, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's the problem. That's the same thing what Soren always says, right? He's like, yeah, sure, we can, changing the CPU is not a big deal. It's just getting one that works is the big deal, So that's why he doesn't do it either. And if you watch Northwest Repair, what he's doing reballs a lot of times. Yeah, I'm not putting any flex on this. He's doing reballs a lot of times. And so you're basically pulling off and you're putting the same one back on. I guess I can add some flux. I was just trying to raw dog it. Sometimes you gotta raw dog things, man. And I'm trying not to spray it right on it, blow it right on it. I'm just trying to hit the board to do it. Come on. Anyway, we're just putting these coils back on. I just want to see what this board does. This one still has a pad right here. It's crazy. From the old coil that was on there. And so does this one. So I was just going to try to put it back on top, I guess. I don't know. But I think they're welded on here. Whatever it takes. I might use a soldering iron on this. Just get them tacked in place and I'll solder it with an iron. Janky, man. It's not like I'm going to sell this board. I don't think I'm going to put this thing back in that guy's machine. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. But we just want to see if the CPU works when we do this. This is so bad. So bad, man. What does that mean? Brist? Bridge. Yes, bridge. Okay. Yes, so there's a bridge across there, but that's the same contact point, so I wasn't worried about it because all the flux or solder mask is gone. So, yep, to the bridge. Taking it to the bridge. All right. All right, those are on there good enough. I'm just trying to see if this board even turns on the CPU because it wasn't even turning the CPU on. Hey, all caps people. Shashank. Dude, stop it, bro. You're about to get kicked out of here. All caps, against the rule. Questions about their machine, you can ask it to Discord. Do not spam chat. Okay? All right? G-Series overheating is a issue with your chipset drivers. If your heatsink is hot and your fans are blowing, chipset drivers, install them. And stop spamming the chat, please. God, man. Take it to the bridge. Feel like that? That's my James Brown, man. James Brown. That's another thing. Whenever I was like looking up Jeff Goldblum like quotes and stuff, another thing that he does a lot is he sings, or he'll start just like singing lines to songs and stuff. And apparently I do that a lot too. So that's what we have in common. Me and old Jeffy. All right, I'm just going to turn this on. I want to see if it starts pulling. That's a little hot, though. A little hot. I just want to see if it starts pulling a little bit of current on the CPU, because it wasn't doing that at all. And if it's not, then there's really nothing we can do with this board as a test. We're having fun now. End the poll, thank you. I wish you guys could end this poll for me. Okay. Nothing. I gotta find the button again. Where's the button? Use Amtech. Yes, I will be using Amtech again. All right, if I can press this button at the same time, we can see the CPU kind of spark on for a second. If I can push the button, it's like under the board on the opposite side. Oh my gosh. Okay, power meter. Okay, did you see the edge of the CPU? Let's look right there again. There you go. There, edge of the CPU. One more time. Boom. All right. Finally. Okay, so we put all that stuff back on there. And so now we have all the stuff on here, especially with the bridge that we have between those two coils. No big deal, because that's all one trace anyway. And that all looks beautiful. Looks like nobody's ever worked on it before. We have the same CPU. We have a symptom where it's heating up right on the edge there and shutting off. So we have it. We have a confirmed bad CPU. And I am ready to try to install this CPU again. So this time we're going to take a little bit more of a, I don't know if we should raw dog it like we did before, because we're going to try to get it off. I need to make sure everything's hot enough, and then we'll pull it. So let me get the heater back up here. Oh my gosh. The inadequate heater. So if you're just joining us, do not follow anything that I'm telling you to do at home. This is only an experiment. I'm what you call an expert, but not in this. That's like Mythbusters, right? That'd be funny if Adam Savage joins in. He will help me test it. All right, we need our thermostats, our thermocouples. Should we measure? I did not do that. Let's measure the resistance also, so we can see that what changes. Need a good ground though. Okay, 1.38. Try this one. 1.4, and then over here, it should be higher, 4.6. All right, so we're going to try to, 1.38 is low, so we want it to be higher than that when we get it back together, or get the new one on there. You got the autocorrect. Autocorrect is killing you. Relax, people. He's a professional. What? I'm a professional in not doing the correct thing here. This is only for entertainment purposes. And actually, you tuned in to watch me fail, I think. I think that's why you tuned in. Just guessing. Is it real or is it fake? On this episode, is it real or is it fake? Can he really change out a CPU and even successfully change out the CPU with inadequate equipment? We will see. Yeah, I think what I will be doing in the future is I'll be sending it off to Black Horse, and we'll see if we can get Black Horse to do our CPU replacements. We are changing out a CPU for no reason. You're not failing, you're not learning. That's right. If you're not failing, you're not learning. That's correct. What'd you fail at today? That's what I like to ask my kids, so I know if they're learning or not. Is it real or is it fake? I'm trying to get this thermocouple to hold down properly. Get in your home. Okay. Okay, we got good pressure. Nice, good pressure there. Just the way I like it. I'll add one more piece of tape so it doesn't twisty. This is the real Kapton tape. You can buy this from Uline. Cost a bunch of money. It's worth a bunch of money. All the monies. All right, so we have a thermocouple on the back of the CPU. Now we're going to put a thermocouple on the top. This is for all the people just joining in. 10:30 a.m. in Pakistan. Or p.m. 10:30 p.m. in Pakistan. It's getting late. Got some new subscribers coming in hot. Coming in hot. Did Swindon ever show up? Did Andy over there at Swindon? I know he had a stream earlier. I figured he wanted to watch me fail again. Hi, how was the first time doing this work? Do you feel like it's starting to work? As a 19-year-old boy studying physics, I like the videos. Well, cool. You know, everything is an experiment, so every single thing I've done on my channel, at least even, is all been like trial and error or learning. So this is something that I don't really care about being good at, but we're gonna have fun doing it. All right, so we have a thermocouple on both sides. Again, I don't know which side's what. I'm gonna just crank this thing up. Full blast, go. And we want the thermocouple on the bottom to be on the bottom of our meter here. Darn it. Make sure the probe's on the bottom. Make sure it's secure. So now I can't, now I gotta move the camera back, but I stuck it on. Ugh. Okay, let's try this. I need something to keep this thing from sliding too. What can I use? What can I use? Okay, there we go. I think it's right. I think we have it on the bottom because the bottom one is hotter right now. So we'll see momentarily if it's doing that correctly. Kind of looks good. It's getting hot. Okay. All right, we're gonna let that heat up. I'm trying to think if we want to do, if I want to freehand it or if I want to do it on here again like I did before. I don't know, we'll have to think about that. Andy is late. Oh, Andy, you're here. Oh, yeah. So I was just asking if you were here. So I watched some of your stream earlier. And I was wondering if you were going to finish up your TV. Did you ever get your TV working? He's working on the LED driver on a TV. Hear me out. We just let the CPU heat up itself. And it detaches. There we go. Just crank it. That'd be funny. Yeah, you fixed it. It was just the LEDs. Are you kidding me? That's funny. That was like the last thing you wanted to test. That's right. That's the way it is. Sometimes you're like, you got it all figured out, and then you're like, no, it actually was just the LEDs. Or was it just like one in line that broke, made it where the whole chain didn't work? Are they in series? You have faith in coffee. I need some more coffee. I'm out of coffee. Froze for a second on YouTube. No. I have no drop frame, so I think we're good. Smoke will be awesome, possibly. More flux. Okay, so the question is, you changed them all out and it stayed on. Okay, so are we doing the Amtech? Is that what we're doing? Or are we going to do... I feel like we should just do the Amtech. Because that's what I'm familiar with, at least. I haven't used his enough. Put a coffee... I have a coffee... Yes, we have some sort of like instant coffee machine thingy in our break room, but I don't like the coffee. I'm kind of picky. So at home, I have one of those machines where you put like beans on one side and the coffee, water on the other side. And you just press the button, it grinds it and tamps it and does all that stuff, and it makes a fresh coffee. So we're waiting for this to heat up to 130, I think is what we ended up getting up to, 125, 130. Amtech seems better. And we did the 559 when we did the GPU just now. Maybe I could do the 213 instead. I don't know which one's better for doing this type of stuff anyway. It seems like the 559 would be correct. Perhaps a big nozzle that covers the entire chip. Well, when I run this with no nozzle on here, that's what I did earlier to take it off, or last week, and it worked just fine. But foil over the top, I don't think we need that. What I need is the IR8500 instead of the IR6500. What I need is a real workstation, BGA rework station, but no, I don't need that. We just need to have fun, man. We just need to do it. Watching from India. I concur. Premise concurs. I love it whenever Premise concurs. Maybe move slow. Slow moves will do it, yeah. And I had the board in a different orientation I had last week. I think that's something to do with it. Let me take this screw off here. Maybe if I put it like this. And then let me line this up right over. Because it came off pretty easy last week. I think we had it off within like, I don't know, a few minutes, I feel like. Let me lower this down. Try to get it just right distance. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just was a little bit higher than I normally was, because I'm going to try to get it right up on it. That might be good. How much price that mechanic? I don't know. NF Lotion. NF Lotion has been thrown over my shoulder, and it's behind some shelf back there, so I can't get to it. So I won't be able to use the NF Lotion. Where am I located in the U.S.? Austin, Texas. Actually, where Dell was founded. They have a whole, like right up the road from me is where like the whole area was built out for all the Dell campus, and now it's all just different stores and stuff, but they're not there anymore. Any thoughts on Northridge Fix Flux? We don't like it. We have issues with it. I tried using it a bunch, and so I'm giving it kind of its run, but I can't do it. It just doesn't work right. And you're not supposed to use it for high temperature stuff, apparently. He kind of changed his tune on that. It's 4 a.m. in Australia. What time is it? 11:37. So we've been at this for 2 hours and 37 minutes. Hello from France. We got some more gifted subs. Truly, you are truly something else. That's the second batch that you've donated. I appreciate that. That was so nice of you. It's for all those ads. That's right. Disabled ads for all those people. That's super nice of you. We're just waiting for this board to get up to temperature on the bottom temperature here. So we have 107 on the bottom, 78 on the top. And so we're trying to get the bottom temperature to get up to like 130. Watching from Sweden. Well, hello. Aussie Kangaroos. Watching at the Atlas. Isn't that the... I thought that's the name of the comet. So you're on the comet right now? Greetings, life forms. Oh man, I wonder when that comment's going to break up. Use uBlock Origin and avoids ads. Does it really? I've heard that. I've never actually installed it. We're getting closer to the temp here. How much that machine? So this machine is not something that you want to use for what I'm doing. So this machine, the preheater was like 60 or 80 bucks US, AliExpress I think, or something like that. Maybe even Amazon. The hot air station was about 400, I think, or 300. But this is not the correct equipment. Do not follow my instructions. All right, the board's getting hot enough. I'm going to take these little thingies off. Raise my microscope back up. And Swindon or Andy, I saw that you have that alert whenever you don't change the view properly. So I have it set up where my mods can actually just change my camera views. So I have exclamation point microscope, exclamation point overhead, and it will change the camera views in case I forget. So they don't have to alert. That's kind of how I got that set up. A lot of times they forget too, but. So we're going to take this glue off the corners. All right, there we go. I'm going to start fluxing this thing. So we're going to use the 559, I guess. So this stuff kind of sucks right in here. I like how it just sucks right under there. So we know it's actually going underneath the chip, because that's what I'm always concerned with. Okay, looks pretty good. All right. Oh, Andy's mods will abuse that. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess you chose the wrong ones. That's funny. Sending love from Syria. Syrian viewers, welcome. All right. I think we're getting close, but our meter's turned off, so how do I know? Yep. So we are at the temp. Now let's see if the top temp's still going up or not. I don't think it is. We're getting close to kind of equilibrium. A flux sandwich is your favorite. Don't forget to do a physical inspection. That's true. But I remember this board was, oh no, this is a different board, isn't it? No, this is the board. Yeah, so this board right here was one that we did on a live stream or something like that, and it was like, we knew that the CPU was bad, so I wrote bad CPU because I was going to try to actually change the CPU at some point. I think XPS and Precision laptops are the most beautiful machines to buy. You still have a very old M6400. Works like a champ. I still have my M6400 actually. I carry that thing across Europe. That thing weighs like 18 pounds. It has a 17-inch RGB LED display. The thing's beautiful. All right. Turn the hot air speed down. That might be a good advice. All right, so we're going to start at 350 just to bring the temps up to that, and then we will, and I'll just have a lower air speed at like 40. I'm not sure if I can do it with the microscope open here at the same time. Maybe if I tilt it a lot. Let's see, can you kind of see it at that angle? That kind of works. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Q-tone loc. Let's do it. Yeah, it's going to be a 30-degree difference between the top and the bottom because the board, one side's facing the actual heater and the other side's not facing it, obviously. And Spearon 6000 running Mint. Oh my gosh, that machine, whew, that was something else. Next stream idea, Nathan repairs a Lenovo. Oh my gosh. What? That would be crazy. I mean, sure. That would be funny because the thing is that, yeah, what I'm doing in this stream right here, I don't want people to send me in a repair for one of these, like a CPU replacement or something. So why not do a Lenovo and then people be like, you fix Lenovo? And I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah, they're all Compal companies anyway, that's right. ODM. So the 6000 laptops were used for DJing with Windows XP. As long as you don't connect it to the internet. He hates us. Now it's going to work. Better heat. Yeah, hopefully. Now some are Foxconn, Winstron, Winstron. That's so Dells are mainly those two, Compal and Winstron. Low and slow is what we're trying to do here. But I thought Lenovo's have a lot of like their own components on there. They're all branded themselves and glued down, so they're a lot harder to work on, right? The blue solder resists is usually a LA, yeah, or an XXX, yeah, compound PVC, PCB. Yeah, I remember when you replaced the CPU for me, then again, it was just a plug-in. That's right, I still have tons of CPUs in stock where you can just plug them in. Installed Bazite. I still need to try that. Everyone's talking about that. Does it actually play games pretty well? It's like cooking ribs, slow and slow. I wish I worked on HPs. You have a mobile workstation that need help. I'm sorry. I'm already busy enough with just doing Dells. Are HPs harder to work on? I wouldn't be able to answer that question, but I'm sure someone could. A lot of HP laptops are Compal motherboards also. Yeah, the ODM is going to be Compal. Yeah, Lenovo puts that black epoxy underneath their chips. It's a nightmare for technicians. See, that's what I would say would be a right to repair issue. It's for security. Yeah, I guess. Not really. All right, so it looks like we maxed out at 215 here. I'm not getting any hotter, so we're gonna have to go up in temperature. So now we're up to 370. And why is the temperature lower now? What's going on here? Did I go the wrong way in my temperature? Oh, I did. I went up, went down. There we go. I don't know why it's getting colder. Why are you getting colder? Where's the thermocouple? I have a thermocouple. You can kind of see it in the view there. There's one right next to the CPU, and there's one right underneath the CPU on the other side of the board. So the bottom is on the other side of the board. The one that's reading 193 must have fallen off the board. I can tell because the temperature is not right. It's just starting to drop. So we almost cannot trust the bottom one now. What is all that stuff coming out of there? Is that foam? That white foam? It's starting to foam at the mouth. What is that stuff? Do you work on Dell laptop cameras? Well, we have webcams. I think the chip is loose. That came off a lot easier, I can tell you that. Yeah, that looks real good. Low and slow, baby. That was a perfect pull. Look, I even left all this stuff on there. I think I could just set the chip right back down if I wanted to. Who does it like that? Who does it like that? The second greatest technician that's ever lived. All right, I think that was pretty pro. So while this is hot, we got to clean this up, though. Yeah, nice job. Thank you. I got to get my thermal cup out of the way. Get out of my way. Okay. So let's clean this off. I'm having all sorts of problems with my microscope, though, because I'm at some weird angle. Maybe that's why. Let me straighten this out. Okay. While it's hot, I need to clean this. Let me get a bigger tip on here. I'm going to use that knife tip. Should I use that knife tip? What is all that foamy stuff? Look at all that. That must be heatsink compound that got underneath there a little bit. I don't know. That's what that looks like. We're home free now, I feel like. So if I need my fume extractor in a better position, or else I'll die. Soren does it like this. Soren raw dogs it like I'm doing it, right? Yeah, he's a raw dogger. See a little bit of solder mask I'm going to have to replace. Trying not to press too hard here. Trying to just barely pick it up. Barely. Just do it softly. Just do it smooth. Can't get in position. Reballing time. Add some low melt solder. Oh, right, I need to add solder to this. What am I thinking? Duh. So distracted. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is getting all messed up already, I can tell. I have some solder mask issues. Try your flux for wicking, okay? Oh, generous. Look at the bubble. Bubble, bubble, you're in trouble. Well, I can tell I already messed up some solder mask. I'm not happy with that because I forgot to do this part before I started wicking it off of there. Idiot. It's time to fail. It's time to fail badly. Getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Is it laggy? Dropping frames? Ooh, yeah, I see some drop frames. Just a few. Buffering on both streams. Yeah, I see 900 drop frames, but then it's cleared itself up. Trying to give it a polarizer here. Man, I don't like this. This is hard. It's like messing up all the pads everywhere. I've never seen the solder mask so weak. I mean, I'm barely even touching this. What the what? What the what, man? I'm barely even putting any pressure. I'm just sliding right across and just letting the heat take it. And the mask is coming off. Do you see that? Overheated, that's why. So the board's too hot, or the whole thing overheated? The board's currently too hot, or that overheated whenever you took it off? Yeah, I mean, that mask, solder mask is just freaking just coming off left and right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing here. Board is too hot. So I have the board, the heater's off right now. But let me see what the board temperature is. 154. I don't know if I trust that bottom thermometer, thermocouple. Well, this is why you don't change CPUs out, people. This is why you pay somebody else to do it. All right, I'm gonna wipe this up and see what I'm working with, because this looks horrible. This looks like a horror show to me. Sir, one resistor is missing. Well, we don't need that resistor. Where we're going, we don't need that resistor. Right now it's the least of my worries, but where is that? Let me see. We'll see if we can find that resistor we're talking about. But this is so gross. Wow, thanks for the donation. Dennis, thank you. I don't know what resistor you're talking about, but I'm looking at all this other stuff, like all of that shenanigans. Oh. All right, let me turn this smell off here, or the sound. I mean, we can still fix this board. It's just a million years more of prepping. All right, let's take a closer gander at this horror show, and then I will be irritated with you. So I mean, I was barely touching that. Now granted, this corner right here, I started removing this without putting the low melt solder on first. And so yeah, there's a couple of them here. Like all these little traces here, that little area there. I mean, all that can be fixed. This is after that. Look at that. It's crazy. That there, that there. You got a couple more of them over here, over there, 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 there. I mean, I barely was putting any pressure. I literally was just kind of just letting the solder go, but it was already, I think it was just too hot, like you're saying. Oh gosh. See, this is exactly like how much work you have to put in. I guess Black Horse, if you have like the equipment and it does it and it won't mess it up, it's common on these boards that you're gonna have to sit there and go through and fix all the solder mask. Again, that's not worth it to me. It's not worth it. So much time, so much effort, and then I could put this on and it won't work, even if I fix all that stuff. I don't know. So at this point, we've been going for 3 hours, and the next step would be to, you know, clean this off a little bit more and then go through and fix all the traces or all the solder mask areas. Andre, here's a cigar. Yes, I'm gonna go get a cigar right after work, right after this. Haha, yes. Thank you. It is my cigar day, actually. That's awesome. Don't ruin the board, it will work. Just don't ruin the board and it will work. That's true. So, I should put a socket on it. Time for a Cuban, and it's a bourbon. What do you want to do here? We're 3 hours in. I could sit here and go through and kind of, you know, we can sit there and start putting all of our solder mask over here and there and do that whole thing and then install the CPU, because that's what y'all came for in the first place. That was my picture. It feels bad, man. It feels bad. Is this a CPU swap? It is. It's a CPU swap from a soldered-on CPU. Throw it in the trash. Next Sunday, please. Yeah, well, we can continue next Sunday just messing with this. What we need is a multi-stream and have Black Horse do one at the same time with us. Send him the board. Do a repair instead. We can grab a repair and I can do it real quick if you want. You want me to at least tell you what I have as an offering? So at least you feel like you got some sort of satisfaction today. Next Sunday, I can continue working on this. We can go through and fix all the solder masks and stuff like that, and then we can install the CPU. Yeah, with UV mask. Yes, I have that. I just don't know if I feel like doing that right now. Take a hammer. I have a hammer. GPUs, PCH problems, CPUs don't bother you. All right, well, you're the man. Get a flatter iron and throw the flux away, okay? We're fine. $2,000 for a CPU change, please. Yes, give me one of those good machines, and then maybe I'll be able to take it off. Gritty is always good for some bits. Thank you, Gritty. Thank you, Gritty. We're up to 3 hours. Appreciate your patience and guidance. Good to watch. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I would have done something. I don't feel like I've done anything. I want to do something. Please. Like at least Andy over there at Swindon, he fixed that TV. He got the LEDs to work. He got the backlight to work. I didn't do anything. I put a whole video up saying I'm going to install a CPU, and I haven't even installed it yet. Do some drinking. We can chat, or I can grab a laptop. Let me see what laptops we have, actually. Let me see. Oh, gosh. Let's see, this one. The client was using the laptop and it shut down, and when it come back on, do a quick repair. Yes. God, I can't see that, but you can see it. All right, what does it say? What does it say? My client was using the laptop and it just shut down, and now not power back on. He stated the fans seemed extra loud prior to shutting off. SSD would keep you safe. Files, blah, blah, blah. I'm planning to send it in with the power supply adjusted together. Okay, so this is an Alienware X15R2. And X15R2s shutting off randomly are notorious for EC chip issues. So it could just be a EC. So that may be boring for people. I don't know. Let me try another one. Let's look at one more. This one will probably be more of a headache. Let's see. This one is... the repair shop took it and told me the logic board was overheating and is not charging. Which one is it? The logic board is overheating and not charging. By a repair shop said that. And that is a XPS 13. I don't know which model though. I don't know. I got more. I got a warranty here that's somebody sold the laptop and then they said that they saw a component that was damaged on it from a prior repair that I did. So we could investigate that one. I also have an XPS 15 that's in pieces already. Oh, this is one that's like a chipset issue that we need to reflow the chipset because it's a XPS 7590 and it will only turn on if you kind of press down on the chipset and it will turn on. So we have to reflow the chipset to fix that. So I can do that since we already have the setup here. We got a new board member. Welcome. WD5M is a board member. Hey, we're practicing anyway. Oh. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. Sega Genesis, what? Do some thermal paste and some bourbon. We need some bourbon. Where my bourbon at? Yeah, I need to go get some bourbon. Bind EC chip replacements. EC liquid metal. Oh. At least there was no burnt fingers. Yeah, I haven't burnt my fingers today, which is good. Try in Germany. Practice. Practice becomes a master. Do Shane's. Which one's Shane? Is Shane one of those guys over there? Oh, I missed it. I don't have a Shane over here. Is there a Shane in my repair shop right now? I can go grab it if we have a Shane here. Should I look to see if I have a Shane in my repair shop? What we got? I have a Shane, but I haven't received his laptop yet. It's an M17R4. It was sent. We sent him a box, and I guess he maybe is sending it back, but it's not here yet. What a shame, Shane. No Shane. You guys are ridiculous. What's the maximum length of the stream on YouTube? 12 hours, I think. 12 hours. I don't know. What do y'all want to do? Any suggestions on the microscope camera? I mean, the one I'm using is this one, which works pretty well. This is the Ryzen cam. I have a link in the video description, but you want one that could do 4K 30 at least. I mean, but a lot of people are doing stuff at 1080p 60. So I like the IMX 678 sensor. So I guess if you kind of look for it, having the Sony IMX 678 sensor is kind of what you're looking for. So executive board member. Oh, that would have been even better for a tier. Having an executive board member, I didn't think about that. When I was coming up with those names, it took me a long time to kind of think of something to name them. First time chatter, welcome. I'm glad to hear that you are chatting. Chatting. Are we going to be doing anything else, or are we just chatting here? Are we in the just chatting phase? Size, open the comments. Let me take this down here. This is hot in my face. You get it out of my face. Get out of my face. Now I have quite the collection here. I got 3 CPUs and 2 GPUs. I thought it was fun. I made my logo out of some old chips that I had sitting on my desk. I just dumped some UV resin on it. But I could almost do that with one of these CPUs, because that could be kind of the screen of the logo, and then I need to come up with the chips across the end here. But that'd be kind of fun. 2 words with different meanings. 666 likes. That's the perfect amount. No more, no less, all right? Is it real or is it fake? Do I have any set aside? Let me see if we have any real fakes stuff. Let me check. I don't know if I have any real or fake stuff. I usually try to find them or set them aside if I can. But oh, here's one. I mean, this one's an obvious one. Or is it? I don't know. This could be one of those ones where it's... Anyway. Is it real or is it fake? Here we go. It looks fake to me already, but I don't know. It might be tricking me. So this is a segment that we will look at different parts and figure out if it's a knockoff or not. Now, it looks fake because of this big sticker right here that says AC adapter on it. But the thing is, it's a sticker. So I don't know. So it could be fake, but it could be, I mean, it feels weird. It feels weird. And then the serial number, you guys have learned how to read the serial number on them. So just for recaps, this is the country of origin, so it was made in China. The next part's going to be the part number, so 0JU012, right? That's the Dell part number. The rest of it's going to be kind of serial number. We have the revision, and this right here is the date code. So the first number is going to be what year it was manufactured. So 21 or 2011, so it's just 1. And then that's the month, 9th month, and then E is going to be the day, and it's like through the alphabet for the days. So 2021, so this hypothetically could have been manufactured in 2021. Sometimes you'll have a second date code on here that contradicts that, so that's why we say it's fake. But it's weird, like the feeling of it feels weird. But I want to weigh it. I want to weigh it. Because it feels a little bit light. Is it real or is it fake? I mean, it's pretty heavy though. Because we were averaging right around like, what, 300 or something like that? Yeah, fake, it's real. See, a lot of times what they do is they put that sticker on there. They put the sticker on over the Dell logo because when they're importing it, they can't put a Dell logo on it. But I think it's probably is fake, or it's made in the same factory and then they put the label on it and then they had to put that over it so they could import it properly. But for all I know that this label, I have no idea. Let me look at the end too. Sometimes the end will tell you. Nope. I can't give you an answer on this one. It's really... So this one's got me baffled. I don't know. I think what we ended up doing, this came in with a customer's repair, and I think they were having charging issues, and this charger was not working right, so we ended up selling them a new one because we said it probably is fake. And so this was actually in our scrap bin. 142 grams? This was 300 and something. And the wire, I mean, there's a lot of extra stuff going on in this, but anyway. The snap the code to IE if it's real. Okay. Do you guys need to see that closer? See those codes? I don't know how to read any of that stuff, so you're welcome to read it all you want. I don't know how to read any of this stuff. Because all of that looks fine. Even the font on here is fine. I guess I could scan that. I don't have a scanner right here. Let me go scan it over there. I can scan it on this other computer. Give me a second. A lot of times that won't match. I'm just going to scan it on this computer. 1E, yep, same number. So the barcode's matching the actual number printed on there. So it's probably, I don't know. I still don't know. FCC pictures of inside. Upload a picture and ask AI. Well, AI is super smart. Crack it open and compare. Okay. How do we crack one of these things open? I need like a hammer. I wonder if I can just smack it on the ground really hard. I wonder if I need to heat it up first. Because there's no screws on this thing, I don't think. I'm peeling this label off, by the way. Yeah, there's no screws. What if I just smacked it on the ground? Would you be okay with that? Sunday's not for work, it's for play. It's for shenanigans, man. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to get a hammer. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. All right, let me see if I can find it. I thought I had a hammer here. Who doesn't have a hammer in their workshop? Well, apparently I don't. I swear I had a hammer around here. I'm going to smash it on the ground. All right, do we need a good shot for this? I don't know if you can see it. Cover your ears. That's kind of loud, isn't it? Hey, we got it. We cracked the nut. We cracked the nut. Look at that. Okay. Boom. Boom. That was a hard nut to crack, but we did it. You have a 25-pound sledge? That's, whew. That thing's heavy. Was that really loud on your ears, by the way? Whip it. Whip it good. Might need to smack it one more time. Let me smack it on the other side. All right, cover your ears. Cover your ears. Here we go. Parts are flying. One more time. There we go. All right. We did it. Look at that. Okay. Circuit protection enabled. If my hammer would have been easier, but concrete works really well too. Apparently these don't want to be opened. Okay. There we go. Right to repair. Do they want me to repair this? There's no way. So how is this hooked together anyway? I think it was just glued. I wonder if just heat would have taken it apart. So it looks like it was just glue of some sort. So do we need like solvent? So we might have been able to just hot air it or something. I don't know. All right, so here's what we have. We have some sort of metal shielding, some foil shielding. And I need a knife. And the supply is open. Let's take a quick look around. Ooh, I like this shielding. I might save this for doing some capacitor protection. Oh, this is good shielding. I like it. It's like the perfect thickness and shape. I'm going to save that. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so it has like a paper insulator that's insulating it from the aluminum shielding. And we got a lot of gack in here of some sort. Now, does this look OEM to you? I can't tell. Are these name brand capacitors? I guess that would mean something, right? Who makes that? Sam? Is that what that is? Sam WD? Oh, gosh, this microscope is killing me today. Like, oh, it's because I adjusted it for the, whoa. Uh-oh. I adjusted it for that height. Measuring. There we go. Now we're at the right height. Okay. Can you make that out? Sam WHD. Who's that? Is that right? Is that even a real brand? What else are we looking at that looks potentially suspicious? What about these brands? Is this a good brand? Does anyone know that brand? Are those good? Oh, don't touch. Oh, thank you. I have not I haven't discharged it yet. Oh my gosh, what an idiot. Let me discharge it. That's so funny. What a fucking, oh my gosh. You saved my life here. Let's see. Let's see a couple bypass, but I can't get to these. That's funny. That's so funny. It hasn't been plugged in a while, so I mean, the odds that they aren't, they're real. Okay, so this is probably a real device that they must have made like off the clock and then imported or whatever. Okay, so it's those two pads. All right, so I have those shorted out good enough, I think. I think we're good. Because these are all 25 volters. So this was the AC ones, right? 400 volt AC. This is factory Dell. The fake wouldn't have that, all that silicone in it. Yeah, I think that this, they must have just imported it and had to put all that fake stuff on there. I mean, the AC adapter labeling. I mean, all this looks good. All right, we have figured it out. We had to destroy it to figure out if it was OEM or not. Is it real or is it fake? Yes, it is. And this could be yours. Oh my gosh, that's such a stupid segment. But, you know, it's fun. It's fun. It did feel weird though, the plastic Felt pretty strange. Oh, those components are on your list of components for Dell servers. You can't save that. I couldn't save this adapter. Is that what you want me to say? I couldn't do it. We fixed something. It's working. We have picture. It's not fake. It's real. A little instruction to validate the CPU. Okay, well, I think that's it for right now. I think we're done, unless you want me to hang out some more. But it is Sunday. I got to get home and do some stuff. Ugh. Got to do some stuff. So, try not to, I need to remember to discharge next time, because that was really stupid of me. I mean, it had been sitting around at least, but that really took a long time. Darren, thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, or today, because it was kind of a interesting experiment, but it did fail. But you know what? Next week, we're going to continue on. I'll see if I can repair all the pads. We'll do it on stream, obviously, but I just didn't have the energy to sit there and go through and put all that new solder mask all over that CPU. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks all my mods. Thanks Black Horse for sending in that CPU. Better than Dell. There you go. Thanks for sending in that new flux to mess around with, and I'll experiment with it more this week. And I'll send you some boards, because you said that you said you wanted it, so I'll send you something, and we'll have to kind of work out how to price that out and see if it's cost effective to the customer or to me or whatever it is. And thanks for all the donations to the stream. That was really nice. Everyone kind of stepped up and gave all these new member stuff and all that stuff. So anyway, I appreciate each and every single one of you, and thanks for watching.